Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming's coverage on the ring final for Dune Imperium. I'm Chris George, and I am joined by designer extraordinaire Paul Dennen. How's it going, Paul? I'm so excited to have you here to commentate on this ring final.
It's going well. Thanks for having me again to commentate. This is always fun, and I'm looking forward to see what the players have in store for us.
Yeah, this is a blast to have you here. We have been really lucky with the World Series that you've been available to cast with us, but also Dune Imperium was drawn as the final game for 2022 and 2024. There is so much good Dune content out there for people to watch, and an exciting thing because Dune Imperium is being rotated out for Dune Imperium Uprising next year, which you and I were just talking off camera about the differences and shifting brains between the two versions and going back and forth. But this one is just base Dune Imperium. Are you ready to see your beautiful child be born once more, another champion to be crowned?
I am, and I have to say I'm fortunate that I was there on location this year, so that I was able to kind of just hop into the booth and see how you guys create the magic from behind the booth. That was really cool to see. I was a little flustered. It was more complicated than I'm used to in terms of like screens and where to look and everything. But
just things looking around. No,
yeah.
You killed it, and it was so lovely having you there to commentate for the final as well. If you missed it, for those of you who missed it, we streamed live a lot of the ring games that happened at the end of September. You can find that on the Dice Tower. There will also be a playlist over on WSBG's YouTube channel as well, and there's a playlist on the Dice Tower. You can see Paul commentating on the final game, our grand final, another $25,000 game of Dune. But now we are doing all the ones that we didn't get to live, which is why we're bringing you this ring final of Dune Imperium here. And if you are interested in attending the World Series, well, you still can. You can get your tickets at WSBGVegas.com using the code EARLYBIRD. You can see myself and hopefully Paul. Maybe we'll be able to make it back again next year.
Yeah, I'll certainly try. It was a fun event. There was like open gaming. Yeah, really friendly people. I'd love to go again.
And I feel like we did some team games for Dune Imperium Uprising, didn't we? In the open gaming, I heard tell of that was happening.
I wasn't part of it. If it happened, I sadly missed it.
Yeah, that might have been happening while the finals were happening as well. So we had stolen you away. But there's lots to do at WSBG. For more information, check out WSBGVegas.com. But let's turn it over to the game. Let's meet our players and get this game underway. What do you say, Paul?
Let's do it.
I get to flip 5 of these.
Let's do it.
Are we cutting decks? Are you guys worried about cutting?
Yeah, let's go.
Yes.
You want to go to the right or the left? Let's go left there.
So we're tuning into the table right now. We have our 4 players. They're just setting up. They're cutting each other's decks to make sure that everything's above board. And then they get to see the flop before they choose their character. So in WSBG, the 4th player, 4th seat order, will get to choose their character first. And that's who you can see in the bottom right corner. Designer John D. Clare, designer of Space Base, Ready Set Bet, a whole slew of things. Dead Reckoning. John D. Clare was competing all throughout the event and has made it to this final table, and is now looking at that Imperium row to see what character he wants to try his luck at for this game. Also in clockwise order, sitting beside John D. Clare, we have JC Tao, who's sitting in first position as he raises his hand, just perfectly timed. JC won the Heat ring and is looking for another ring. This is JC's first time at WSBG. And then I believe also Derek Law is in seat 2 and Tan and Roney in seat 3. It's their first time at WSBG.
Surprised to see John D. Clare here. He's a good guy. As if being a great game designer isn't enough, he has to go in and then compete and like make it to final tables of the of the tournament. Crazy.
And I know during the live events, we were scheduled to do some like panels with John D. Clare and Matthias Viga, but they both progressed too far in their tournaments that they couldn't come and do the panel. And so I think you also jumped in for that as well, Paul, talking about game design with
Tom Vassell.
Tom Vassell and Asger from for designer of Heat.
Yep. Yeah, you know, they try to bring in the big guns, and then when they're busy winning games, they ask for me, and I'm glad to be a substitute.
Well, we just had a sense that Dune Imperium would be drawn again as the ring final. I'm sure and we knew that we would have you on for that. I'm almost certain of it.
It was crazy. Yeah, I was running some demos of an upcoming game that I can't really talk about, but a future game that we're hoping to publish soon. And I did have to cut one demo because of Dune coming up, but no worries there. It was a lot of fun to cast that final game.
I think people were understanding. So they've chosen their characters. They're being interrupted right now by John Hagmeyer, chairman of WSBG's board, who's just letting them know that everybody who participated in the Dune Imperium ring event, regardless of how you placed, you got an exclusive, the very first foil card of the Worm Riders. You got one of those cards, but your copy of Dune Imperium has 2 Worm Riders in there, and so he's just announcing to the table that, hey, because you made the final table, we're making sure to get you at least 2 copies, so both of your Worm Riders can be all nicely foiled, which I think is a fun little touch. I love that that you guys were able to provide this new cool foil card for the Worm Riders. It's fun to have these little exclusives for your favorite games out there.
Yeah, I was happy. I think I was the one who pitched the idea of, well, we could use the cover of Dune Imperium Uprising as Worm Riders because it's a cover showing worm riding, and we were able to do a foil. And the first time I got to see the card was at the event, so I was excited too.
Oh, amazing! Cool, got to see it in person.
So if we want to talk about the leaders, certainly not surprised that John in 4th position picked the Baron. The Baron is just a very strong leader in general. Can't go wrong with him. 3rd, looks like Dennen picked Helena, who is
Richeezy, he called.
Yes, I think that's a reasonable pick when you're in 3rd or 4th position.
Yeah,
it's a deck building leader. It's not my personal favorite leader. I usually like to get something that has more material advantage, like getting extra spice or resources, or like the Baron faction influence. But Helena, if you can find some great cards, and did they pick leaders when the row was in play?
Yes, so that's what John was asking at the beginning too. The row is revealed, and then you get to choose your leaders. So, but before you see your opening hand as well.
Right.
So I find that interesting because I've seen in a lot of these finals that we'll see 4th position often take Helena because of the row, but I guess John was like, nah, there's 2 5s out there, right? We've got 4. We have from left to right, we have the Fatican Death Commando, that costs 3, which lets you trash a card or gives you 1 influence. Then we have Duncan Idaho, which costs 4, where you can exchange a water for a troop and a card if you're using it in the worker placement area, or you just get water and attack. Then you have Liet Kynes, who, when you purchase, you get a bump on the Emperor track, and then you also, when revealing, get 2 influence for every Fremen card if you're going for a Fremen build. Then we have Gene Manipulation, which is a Bene Gesserit card costing 3, where you can trash a card, and if you have another Bene Gesserit in play, you can get spice. And then we have the Carry-All, which will double the base spice that you receive, not the bonus spice, but the base spice, if you are going to a spice gathering spot with that agent. So you can get 6 spice with that Carry-All if you time it out correctly and you have the water.
So I suspect that if Liet Kynes was not on the row, that Helena would not have been drafted. I think Helena was probably drafted specifically to try to get Liet Kynes, because Liet Kynes is one of the potentially most powerful cards in the game. With all that she's got, you get an Emperor influence when you acquire her, and just like the amount of spice must flows you can buy with her can be amazing. Which is interesting because and it's kind of a coin flip, right? If you don't pull your signet ring, it's pretty easy for seats 1 or 2 to get Liet Kynes. So we'll see how that works out. The Beast in position 2 that Derek chose he's just, kind of like the Baron, solid leader. You can't go wrong with him. I'm really surprised that Ilban into position 1, basically. Like, Ilban's one of the strongest leaders in the game, and being able to see like your last pick and have Ilban be in it, that is a fortunate place to be. So JC right away, to me, I envy his position.
Yeah, and JC has already gone to the Fremen and gotten some water as well. And also JC was mentioning too, he said, well, let's hope my luck holds with Ilban. He just won a game with Ilban to get there. He said he'd been bouncing back and forth between Baron and Ilban all day as his choices.
I'm a little surprised he went to still suits right away, just because with Ilban, I would tend to go to wealth and then convert the wealth into a Mentat, because Ilban draws extra cards when you go to the Landthread. Because he went to still suits and didn't even push any troops too, so he kind of lost out on part of the benefit of still suits.
Okay.
And for the battle right now, I think it's just a skirmish where you can raise yourself up once on the faction track, and then you just get money as a bonus. Yeah, it is a bit surprising that JC didn't push any in, considering that he'll want money with Ilban to take advantage of his that extra draw.
Yeah, it might be a sign that he has no daggers in hand, and he was just too afraid of being in first position and pushing troops and getting smothered.
Right.
But that's another reason why I like the wealth play first, because then he can go to Mentat with his turn 2 and then see whether to push troops on his third play. So I feel like maybe he missed a trick here. And he played his Signet Ring, which generates a Solari. In the meantime, Tannen was the one who went to wealth with Helena, and John went to secure a contract for 3 Solari, which JC could have done right away to get up to 4 Solari with his ring.
Yep, and John also used his ring, and so then used that Solari to draw an intrigue card as well.
Yeah, which is big for the Baron. Like, blocking the Baron from that kind of play when he draws his ring right away can be a little bit of a minor kind of ding against the Baron. So leaving that option open for him helps John.
Wow, we see an early reveal from Derek to grab Liette.
Wow, so Derek
we'll see if Tannen had the signet ring in his hand, because that could be a tough blocking play if he was holding it back.
Yeah, if he had a signet ring in hand and did not play it action 1, I would be surprised.
Yeah.
That's what we're playing for, guys. Nice. The winner gets all 4.
They're showing
they're showing
foil.
off the foil card. Cool.
Okay.
Cool, really cool, and that's because Worm Riders did pop up as the next one.
So no ring for Tannen, it looks like.
Yeah.
Or he's holding it back just for the persuasion.
Hold on.
But wow, in third position he went off-world, didn't get into the combat. So now JC with his second action of 2 troops is the only one in the battle.
It's just sitting pretty. And that's also good for John. He can push 1 in and
yeah. I fully expect him to push 1, if not 2. If he's holding daggers, he might try to win.
I feel if he's got daggers,
he looks
should.
good. That bottom bonus that gives you water, that looks good. With 2 things, that looks good.
He could also masterstroke right now. A lot of barons would do it right away. I don't like doing it right away when there's not a point at stake. And it looks like he had no faction access this round. He's not playing his diplomacy or seek allies.
Yeah, but he pushes 3 in, and I like that. I like that push. Obviously, doesn't have the dagger support in his hand to feel comfortable about winning it. But just getting that early on win, moving up on the faction track, kind of pushing forward is
super minor misplay by pushing his troops before he drew his intrigue card. I would rather see draw the intrigue and then push troops. But maybe he just knew, like, even if I draw a combat intrigue, I'm not going to want to use it this round. And 3 troops was maybe needed to win here because JC had a dagger.
Yeah.
3.
And it looks like he's revealing 4.
It looks like he's revealed 4, yeah. So could just grab Duncan Idaho, which is a very solid early grab.
He's going.
I think he went for the higher quality card that has a pentagon, probably because he's Count Ilban. So he took gene manipulation.
Who's the Reverend Mother? Is she the one that makes the 8 card? And I've never got
one.
She costs 6. But
Who's the 8 cost?
Kuzak, Haderach.
Oh. Who is that in the world?
And you can see this card that they're passing around on the table. This indicates, hey, all my turns are done. I am finished. Once the card is passed, that's sort of the time is over. Wow, Tannen manages to grab Worm Riders.
He was lucky that Worm Riders popped up and it became available to him.
Yeah.
And
It is not gonna work.
Great value grab early on for Tannen.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
And then we'll have his run of whatever's left over too, to reserve on his next turn.
Worm Riders is interesting because it's like powerful on one vector of the game, combat. Can be powerful at collecting spice too, because Worm Riders gives you 2 spice if you play it. But it also commits him to the Fremen. And he currently has no Fremen, so he's going to have to go to the Fremen now to get some of the energy of Worm Riders online.
Right.
And what did John buy?
John just picked up the Guild Administrator. The Spacing Guild can go to either a Spacing Guild space or a triangle, and trashes a card or gives you 1 influence.
It's a good early buy.
John deciding where he goes, where he's going to invest, and where he's going to go next round. As JC seeds the spice, the extra bonus spice out there.
Okay, I feel like this is. I'm not green. Ah, there it is. I did it. Okay. First time. Well, we can count how many times I do. I moved green.
Chose Fremen.
Went for Fremen.
Myself though.
Didn't give me a chance.
That's also an interesting play from John. It kind of telegraphs to me that the Baron probably has chosen Fremen as one of his tokens, just because he knows that Tannen will probably also be fighting for that Fremen influence, just based upon the Worm Riders grab.
Yeah, it's kind of an aggressive play. If he does have his Master Stroke on Fremen, if he goes to Hardy Warriors, gets 2 bumps on Fremen, and it effectively puts him in the lead for the alliance with the Fremen.
Yeah.
Which maybe he's consciously doing that to block Tannen out of getting.
At the end of the game,
It's a little aggressive. The safer play would to be go somewhere else and not try to fight for an alliance when you know somebody else is going to be fighting for the alliance.
Yeah, but if you've already committed to the Master Stroke beforehand, I do like maybe getting ahead of it and trying to push there, knowing that he's got two alliance track moves this round since he didn't do any last time.
Yeah.
We see the Beast going to get 3 spice, spending that water.
Yeah, we might see him convert that spice into Solari with his second move. Which is a pretty typical Beast opening. Sometimes you'll even see the Beast collect spice in round 1 and convert, because he starts with an extra spice.
And he pushes in 2. They're competing for a point and to trash a card, it looks like.
Alright, so let's do the old...
In Terrible Purpose, which is what the conflict card is called.
You can just remind me to do it.
The Signet Ring, I'm going to tap. Let's see.
Here's Helena's Signet coming a little late.
Yeah, and then...
And makes sense that going now for Fatigan Death Commando, trying to do a Fremen combo. I guess wanting to take that from Liette. Liette would have loved to have that in her deck.
And that worm was crushing in the last game I played.
Yeah, revealing Worm Riders plus the Fatigan is devastating.
Yeah.
So the other players want to try to be aware of when those can potentially be revealed and not get caught, committing a lot of troops that then get overtaken by those 2 cards.
Yeah, that's a huge play if they come out together. We see John just played his Seek Allies, trashing the card, and now going to invest in Bene Gesserit. Will he move up the green? No, he remembers what color he is.
The best 3 in the game.
He might be hoping that Hardy Warriors is open to him when he plays his diplomacy. But that might be a lot to ask here when
Poison Snooper.
when the other players probably know that it could be coming.
Well, he only has one troop still left in his garrison for
You're right.
for Hardy Warriors, so he may not get to do the master stroke just yet if that's his play, but
Yeah, that's a good
he
point.
might decide that the trashing and the point is worthwhile.
I'm gonna go to that.
Yeah, I suspect he will not think that it's
every tournament
Yeah.
uses that?
worthwhile.
Here at the W.
Especially with sitting only on that one
I did one
water.
last year, and this is my first one this time.
There we go
And
with
they didn't know it was 7
Ilban
wonders, so we didn't use it.
abusing that Mentat.
It really helps me if I have to rule on certain things.
Yeah. Card has power.
Does Derek perhaps not have another triangle in his hand? Did he use his ring round 1? I didn't look carefully at the reveal, so I don't know if he revealed his other Dune.
Yeah, I didn't look carefully at his reveal, but I know he revealed early. I don't think he used his ring round 1, so he must still have his ring in his hand. Unless he really felt it necessary to throw away his ring
Hangs out
to
with
get
the Fremen.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
to make sure he got Liet,
Dies for him.
Gets challenged with control. Dies.
which wasn't even necessary because JC only had enough to afford gene manipulation, so. Interesting to see where Derek goes from here if he's not going for that
Are these white abilities?
that Swordmaster play.
Not optional?
Yeah, he has enough spice to go to Conspire, which is a high quality space, but it doesn't reach the break point of 8 Solari for him. He's at 1, so it would bring him to 6.
It trashes itself.
Whereas Secure Spice Trade, obviously, he
That's
could
the only
convert
ability I've seen
enough
that
to get a
maybe people
Swordmaster
wanna use it,
next round.
but all the others is like obviously you would use it if you would.
Yeah.
That's what the reveal box is for.
2 jump is pretty nice.
The Beast is usually the first to get a Swordmaster when pursuing spice like this.
Yeah, I wonder if he's just juggling his reveal. He is first up to reveal, and there are some tasty things still on the board. We have Power Play, which was revealed, which gives somebody a double bump, although not great for this early game engine building of your deck because you sacrifice tempo. And then we have the other memory, a Bene Gesserit, which no Fremens on the board for Derek. He'll be looking for more Fremen to chain together with Liet Kynes.
Yeah, he might end up just getting lots of Arrakis liaisons. JC has a potential Bene Gesserit combo, so JC is happy right now to see both Bene Gesserit's sister and other memory up there on the row.
Definitely.
Acquire. Is this Earth back here? Or is
Oh, it streamed earlier.
Oh, okay. Oh, it did. Okay.
Did they just start way earlier? That's why they were able to.
I think it was one of the shorter games.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Is that
maybe it
Azul
was
or
Azul.
something? Yeah, Azul.
It was Azul.
You guys see that?
He must have a tough choice. I wonder if he has, like, Seek Allies and he's not sure whether to convert to Solari or... Oh, whoa, he's deck
But
building.
yeah, he's deck building, yeah, because he played the Seek Allies and he was just deciding where to go to. But is going for this, trashing that dagger, saying, listen, this beast doesn't need military. Not interested. This beast is a spice must flow type of guy.
Yeah, this is an unusual play.
Well, I guess too, he's probably considering right now he's the odds-on favorite or to win the combat. Although I don't see how Tannen doesn't push in. And so maybe he's thinking, great, if I get to trash a card in the combat reward, I get to trash a card now, I've thinned my deck significantly enough.
Somebody's going big money.
Yeah, but, like, Usually you'd make that play if you were going for like a power card on the road. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
Next
that the road warrants that kind of play because, like you said, there's no Fremen. He has Liet Kynes. He wants Fremen.
Yeah.
So I would have leaned more towards not spending my spice like that and just taking Arrakis liaisons, especially because he just shuffled
Yeah.
Liet Kynes into his deck. So Liet Kynes is certainly not going to hit
Put this in a super
next time.
Yeah, it is a bit wild considering the cards that are out there and their costs. The most expensive is 5, and it's not like we're sitting on like a Lady Jessica or a
Right.
Kwisatz Haderach, right, where you want to see if you can draw into that.
Wow. Speaking of wild, Helena went to High
About
Council,
to remember.
Yeah,
This is my discard.
and
Round
activated
two High
round 2
Council.
High Council, really nice.
and this was just like another kind of generous offer to John D. Clare
Oh, thank you.
of like, well, I'm not going into combat, so you can just go down there, push one troop. John was able to go to Fremen again, right?
Yeah, well, Fremen
Yeah.
for the first time, his first bump was his combat
Right.
reward.
So yeah, if he's got a master stroke later, that will just give him the alliance if he goes to Hardy Warriors with it. The
Yeah.
problem, obviously, is he has 0 troops now in his garrison.
Yeah, I figured if I'm coming one of these, I'm going full board.
Have you been here for a while?
Is JC going to go to Hardy Warriors and try to win this since the other players have left him an opening?
Yeah, and he does have the water to do so.
5 hours?
It's like 5 hours.
I think he probably should.
Feels like it's worth it. He can push in 4 to pretty much guarantee it.
It's nice to have the option. To be able to
Yeah,
And
John
JC
had-
also still has another move too, because he still has the Mentat.
Oh, right. He doesn't even have to do... He can wait till they reveal.
Right.
Even stronger. Yeah, maybe we'll see him come down to Carthag on his next move.
Hmm.
I brought a bunch of prototypes and stuff with me.
So Derek's revealing quite a lot. Looks like 2, 4, 6, 7 reveal. If only Lady Jessica were on the row.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to pay an extra 40.
He takes a power
You don't
play
need a carry-on bag.
Has the drive to the airport, wait in the airport forever. You know?
and reveals a Spacing Guild.
I don't mind that.
Oh, totally.
Liaison makes sense. It looked like he revealed
What are you doing here,
Liet Kynes there, so he drew into Liet Kynes after
Yeah.
as part of the play to select a breeding.
Can I see what card you're Sorry.
John talking about his trip down and now asking to see what he pulled. Yeah, the liaison makes sense with Liet Kynes. It just feels, I don't know, feels like a bit of a waste of that spice, but maybe didn't have that that ability to go to the triangle to sell the spice.
Yeah.
Got 3 more.
There's a couple good 3 though.
Helena takes that Fadakin
I'm happy about that.
Get the sister.
I'm not gonna miss out on something.
and then takes the Bene Gesserit's sister as well.
And,
4. That one I can't get.
As we reveal a Smuggler's Thopter, which if you have 2 influence on the Spacing Guild, you get to draw 2 cards, or you get an influence and a spice for the reveal.
I have 1. 3. I will buy the space trap.
That's a nice payday of a water and a spice for pushing 1 troop in.
Is it? Oh, that would have
Agreed.
been a perfect 7 for you.
Yeah, he's making out like a bandit. He's not building the best deck. He's bought Guild Administrator and now Space Travel, so he's kind of
Oh, you do have an action left.
pigeonholed into the Spacing Guild icons and hasn't bought much else, so that's his disadvantage. Also, he's playing the Baron and has no troops in garrison, so he's going to have to scramble a bit here.
Yeah. And speaking of Lady Jessica now appears on the row, just $1 short and a day late for Derek.
Does JC have a chance of getting her? He's drawn cards, but not a lot of cards, so he probably doesn't have a chance.
Not a lot of cards, but has the ability to push in 3 and is looking at his intrigue card before he decides to push in.
It's the good play, and he pushes all 3.
And he pushes all 3 in. JC, with that methodical play, the card goes back to him.
Mentat is powerful.
Yeah. 4
4
and a dagger. So can afford Duncan Idaho, but I think we'll see him take the other memory to chain with his
Yeah,
Bene
I
Gesserit.
agree.
Pretty instant decision from JC.
Ooh, Reverend
Oh.
Mother just appeared.
And the Bene Gesserit deck gets even more scary.
Because I never have it.
JC salivating at the Reverend Mother.
Yeah,
Someone had her, and
the biggest troll card in all of Dune Imperium, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Just play that, discard one, and then discard two.
Combat.
Combat. You don't have any cards. No. I do have a card.
John DeClaire passing. John DeClaire has some entry cards, but is passing, and JC manages to snake a win there.
I will trash a game.
We need to spice up.
Spice up this.
Okay.
It's always fun to watch these games when you don't have access to see their intrigue cards,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take them now.
because
I took the green guys.
you can't just predict everything. Like, it's one
Yeah.
thing to not see their hands, which is also somewhat unpredictable, but the intrigue cards can be
Pass the token.
anything. It could be all over the place.
And I think I saw, we might have missed it, but it looked like JC might have trashed a dagger as well, so he must have had an intrigue card,
Does that
a
mean
block
you
card that got
Okay.
rid of a dagger, or maybe he was just passing it off to the outside of the table from a previous trash. I'm not quite sure, but I saw some movement in that regard.
Well, he just won the combat that gave him a trash.
Oh no, I think his trash for the combat was Dune the Desert Planet.
Oh, really? So he's
Yeah.
trashed 2 cards. Huh.
Do you want to trade?
Can we see? I see an intrigue card on the screen. Is that his intrigue
Saying
card?
for a,
I think that's in his
that's
in his hand essentially,
that'd be a first.
which is why it's face down.
I think his deck is also.
There's just a card. There's just an intrigue card. It's like
Trade
swap
deck.
decks with some.
That would be a sweet promo card. Get that one.
Paul, if you're watching.
If you're taking notes, yeah, Paul, they're calling out to you. An intrigue card that just says swap decks with somebody else.
Oh, wow.
the zany expansion.
Now, if I swap decks with you and you've acquired a bunch of Spice Musclos, do I get the points for those?
Yeah, that's good.
I think I would get to keep the points because it's an instant effect.
Good.
But hey, you're the designer. You can make the rules.
What do we want to do here?
That is a dangerous Imperium row right now. I'm surprised that Duncan Idaho hasn't been snapped up. I really like Duncan as a value card, but I guess people are looking more on the deck building side because Duncan doesn't give you any influence when he reveals.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's a knock against him in the early game. Although I still like to pick him up just for the water and swords.
It's nice to have a little bit of a water income without having to worry about going to Bene Gesserit.
Right?
This game is
I'll go in
somewhat
here.
surprising to me in how
Any card you played or any card
kind
you
of lackadaisical everybody is about collecting Solari and
Right.
gunning for a Swordmaster. Usually, I see players be far more aggressive at trying to get ahead of the other players at Swordmaster because you really don't want to get caught fourth, getting a 4th Swordmaster.
Right.
I can somewhat understand Helena not being as concerned because Helena isn't blocked at hexagon spaces.
Yeah. And also Helena has gotten her at least a seat on the High Council, which is, you kind of go for one or the other in those early plays.
Yeah.
One. I did it. I don't
Whoever
lose a
gets
Okay.
I don't lose a
Lady
point.
Jessica, if JC gets Lady Jessica,
0.5.
he becomes the odds-on favorite in this game, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, we didn't see a signet ring play from Helena, so we can assume that she's not reserving anything since she could have gone there with signet ring pretty easily.
Yeah, that was a trash. I missed whether
Yeah.
Tannen trashed something or not.
That was way better. The one
Yeah,
with
because he
the
didn't have a
little
discard
orange,
pile. Also a bit odd.
plastic things that slide in, like the Hasbro.
I guess the next card that Tannen's going to play, he really wants to keep. Otherwise, could have done it in the other order. But maybe knew that space for the 3 spice was too tasty to let up.
So John DeClaire now has enough spice with that harvest of the Great Flat that he could go to Highliner, which by itself triggers Master Stroke, so he doesn't have to do the Fremen-based Master Stroke.
Right.
not sure that he will on this combat, especially winning only
an intrigue
fairly
the Mentat.
fairly meager rewards for going to Highliner.
But also nobody else is even close in that, and we know there's at least 2 Spacing Guild cards in John D. Clare's deck, so he's got the flexibility kind of to do it whenever he wants.
Yeah, Ilban looks to be now set up to get a Swordmaster on his next play. He just picked up 3 for the board space plus 1 from his ring.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a perfect play, assuming he has a dagger in hand.
Yeah.
Blocks it from other people. That's true. I encourage you to sell Melange or Spice. A lot of Melange out there. If you don't do it,
A little bit of table talk here.
Yeah, JC encouraging the Beast to sell Melange, saying, "Hey, you got to get that money sometime," and you could block other people around the table. Not saying any names, except for the other 2 who have a bunch of spice.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if
Doesn't affect me.
Is JC recognizing that Derek is in an awkward position this game with his Liet Kynes power play purchases, and he's kind of encouraging him to get in front of the other players that he perceives as perhaps a stronger threat to himself.
Well, I feel like the threat, there's the play to sell. Makes sense too. I guess the Beast couldn't do that the previous round,
which hurts because he's not going to get it this round if JC gets it.
He certainly won't. Yeah, JC will be going there.
Let's go over here and get a water.
But I think players are for sure scared of Tannen, especially as he makes his ascent on the Fremen track.
I'm actually feeling pretty good about having that many ends.
Yeah, I wouldn't push any more troops if I was Tannen. It doesn't seem necessary whatsoever.
Here we go. Guild Administrator. Is he going to Highliner? No, he decides to go.
Takes a nice fold space.
Trash the dagger.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I go here, one of these guys, bump up on that track, and that is.
But
Okay.
Baron,
Still only 1.
steam is kind of run out. Has no troops in garrison. Couldn't really participate in combat this round.
That's not crazy at all.
But again, it feels like not an important combat to worry too much about.
The question, though.
Oh, and JC manages to snatch Lady Jessica with a reveal. Decides to opt for that instead of Swordmaster.
Wow. I guess that makes sense. Jessica's so strong.
Wow. And that's 3 Bene Gesserit in JC's deck.
I guess
all he needs is Reverend Mother and another Bene Gesserit. The voice just popped up as well.
It looks like he didn't have a Pentagon in hand anyway. His Signet was played to get Solari, and then the rest of his cards were just like circles and triangles.
Yeah.
The problem with John's position now, though, is like, he has a lot of spice, but he's going first next round, and if he doesn't start the round with 8 Solari, he knows that JC is just going to take the Swordmaster in front of him, so he might be last to Swordmaster now.
Yeah, I should have been playing only 5 times.
Huh? I think it's 5. I was trying to remember.
Alright, let's get our reveal on. I'm going to use these as influence to get up to 7.
I don't know if I believe
No.
7.
Oh, 7 for Tannen as well.
Wow, he could have had Lady Jessica,
An early reveal from JC was the right call, denied that. But Tannen then scoops up the Reverend Mother Tannen also has that Bene Gesserit sister. So has a weird Fremen Bene Gesserit combo deck.
I agree. It would not be a fun game if
So kind of balancing both ends there.
It is not awesome.
It's crazy that Tannen's the only one who went into this combat.
Yeah.
Derek,
I'm surprised that Derek didn't just limp in one, but he went for the... Well, Derek still has one...
Oh, he still has an agent. Yeah, he got his Swordmaster,
from the
so he'll probably come in. now.
All right.
Yeah, let's see where he goes. There's a couple really nice spots. Carthag. Although Derek likes to go through his deck and draw cards, so he may want the draw depending upon what he wants to buy. But the entry cards are just, you never know what you're going to get. It could be incredible. It could be good. in any case, it's going to be good. Yeah, and goes to Carthag.
I think he does not want to draw here, probably because he looked at his deck. He looked at how many cards are in his deck, and I think he knows that Liet-Kynes and an Arrakis Liaison are still in his deck. I could be wrong.
Combo, yeah. I guess he's deciding if he wants to win this right now. The difference just being getting the Mentat would have four people next round. Drawing that entry card first, just before he decides.
Are you gonna let him have this? Uncontested.
John's trying to talk him into fighting.
Yeah, at least get some second place stuff here. Oh, it's only first.
Convinces
Wow.
him to push hard.
All yours.
Goes hard in there. That's surprising.
Yeah. Are 2 troops worth the Mentat is the question. Because
Yeah.
he could have had the same rewards minus the Mentat for
Yeah. Again, it also could just be afraid of Tannen's future winning battles. But yeah, I probably would have just pushed one and kept the other, because then you're still the biggest bully with your reserves for whatever comes up next.
I will say that the table is probably happy. The table, other than JC, is probably happy with this conflict coming up, because it means that JC can't do his Mentat trick
For sure.
next
But
round.
JC's going to buy a Swordmaster next round anyway, so it's not going to matter.
Probably true, yeah. I mean, it's possible to get Swordmaster and then collect Solari and then go to Mentat, but you're probably right that it probably wasn't in the cards for him regardless.
I would be very scared. I mean, I was scared of Tannen's deck to start, but now having Lady Jessica, Other Memory, and Gene Manipulation, 3 Bene Gesserits, which all, well, the 2 that sort of react with Bene Gesserits.
You gotta do them. Oh, but he already
Especially because with Other Memory, you could pull Lady Jessica from your discard pile.
snap that card.
Like that's a dangerous combo.
Going worms. Spice.
Jessica's also a good counter to when somebody else at the table is trolling you with Mohayim, because you're drawing enough cards that you can just discard like maybe a dagger and a Dune, that kind of thing. And then once he gets Spice West Flows, he starts to discard Spice West Flows.
Yeah. And we saw Derek not buy anything from the row other than another Arrakis Liaison.
I did.
Yeah, we got it.
That is a Liet-Kynes kind of play when the Fremen aren't appearing.
That one's nice. First time I've seen this one today, surprisingly.
I'm gonna draw 4 cards and shuffle.
Liet-Kynes is even more powerful if you shuffle her into the Dune Imperium Uprising deck, because the Uprising deck's Fremen percentage is significantly higher than base Dune Imperium's percentage.
Right, and you can smash both of those decks together.
You can, yeah.
Big old one.
You can do what you want. I've come up with my own kind of personal house blend that I enjoy, where I don't do the most powerful stuff. Like I don't shuffle Liet-Kynes in, both for power level reasons and for flavor reasons. I tried to make my house blend more about the second movie, and spoiler alert, Liet-Kynes doesn't make it to the second movie.
I love that your preferred blend is purely thematic.
It's not 100% purely thematic. I do acknowledge like leaving out, like I tried to put in Chom Directorship, but found that just like it is so strong of a card, especially in Uprising when you unlock things from being at 2 influence with all the factions, that I had to kind of keep it out.
So we're on to round 4. John D. Clare is leading it off. The Cloak and Dagger was drawn as a combat card, so the winner will get to go up 1 step on a faction track and get 2 intrigue cards. Second place gets an intrigue and a spice, and third place gets an intrigue or a spice.
We're gonna play.
Yeah, relatively minor power level conflict cards so far. Contrasting against some games where I've cast where like point after point pops up.
Right.
In this one, we've only seen Terrible Purpose.
Just the one, yeah.
I'll be impressed if we have to shuffle the intrigue deck.
Yeah.
You want to cut?
I haven't seen that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get
Obviously, faction influence and intrigue cards can convert into points. It's just not so outright, and the points on conflict cards are singular, like they are in addition to the points you can collect on the politics tracks.
Right. Versus having to diversify and find those points another way.
So it could this kind of game can lead to more rounds being played because there's more of those kind of extra points going to players.
I haven't played that one.
Yeah, because it should be said a decent game of Dune Imperium will usually last till round, what would you say, Paul, 7? If all players are
7 or 8. I think it kind of depends. If there's if there's parity, if the players are all roughly equal skill level, I think 8 is probably the most common. If somebody kind of runs away with the game, then 7 is common.
to draw one.
Let me know when you get 4.
That I'm not going to.
I don't think I might sword master.
And we see the dagger, we see JC getting a Swordmaster, as we knew he would.
Yeah, he didn't need to do it on his first action, but he might have just wanted to draw the card to see what other options he was going to get from drawing the card.
Right.
I do like playing on this table.
Yeah, seeing if he has a Bene Gesserit combo in his hand.
Should we do the like the World Series of Poker thing where we like show the camera and they can comment on it, I guess.
Show us, John.
You
show.
can if you'd like, John. We'd love to see it.
What I want to show is Paul this card that I think sucks.
Oh yeah. I don't believe you for some reason.
John not happy with the card that he drew.
Sounds like Dune the Desert Planet to me, but I could be wrong.
He says he's going to have words with you, Paul.
Unless he's thinking, yeah, I don't know. The cards he bought, Space Travel is an okay card. It's not great. Guild Administrator, an okay card, but like he's only spent. Has he bought a big card yet, or he's just?
Oh no, I
buying
think he was
like,
talking about his intrigue card that he had.
Oh, his intrigue card. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, at least he can blame you for that, since otherwise it was his choice of the other cards to build his deck with.
I am guilty as charged of making some intrigues are not very good in certain situations.
So we're over to Derek right now. I don't think Derek has yet to decide. Catching a little glimpse of his hand. I think I see a dagger in there.
He has 4 actions this round. He's going to need to draw some cards probably to be able to play all 4 actions.
Yeah, this would be a great time to go to that Bene Gesserit spot with that spice. But unfortunately the beast has no more spice. Sold it all for war.
The beast, if you saw Dune Part 2,
Not bad, huh?
the beast is not known for his patience. He likes things to be done quickly and well, and I really wouldn't want to work for the beast.
Yeah.
Oh, this was my 2.
It's not very forgiving.
I believe so.
A low scoring set.
Yeah, I believe you.
I got it from the.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
that
Yeah,
was
I was like,
didn't
what is
slide
this? This is
Derek just noticing his battle rewards that he got from for the extra 2 money. If that
they
changes his calculation.
Are they supposed to put their resources on their leaders just so that everybody can look around and more easily spot resources?
I think that's it. I also think that Derek just didn't see it on his board and went, "What is this?" And everyone said, "That was your reward." He said, "Oh, perfect." It should be said that all these players, this was a tough competition. This was a This was a big tournament, and I think all these players, this was everybody's fourth game of Dune. They had to win 3 games to get there, and they started playing early in the morning, and now it is
He
later
should
at
take
night.
his rewards there. He didn't take his money or his point. Did he take? No, he didn't take. I don't think he took his point.
Take your money, yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Taking his money.
I'm gonna get a 5.
Maybe he did take the
Alright.
I
point.
think he did take his point because that's the only point he has earned thus
Okay.
far.
I'm just going there.
We'll
But yeah,
drop the old
I guess we can see
rider.
him gearing up to
Here's a question. I probably
get his seat on the High
Do I take
Council
the
as
spice
well.
And then I could choose if I wanted to exchange that spice, or I can only exchange the spice that I have.
What is your question?
So I played the Worm Rider. I'm taking 2 spice. For
If he goes there,
I'm gonna
He
get
has to
here.
choose. He has to
Yeah,
send
I'm
an,
First you play
his
Dune,
agent to a
anything
space
until you-
Okay,
first.
so I'm putting it here.
and then you do everything in any order, right?
I think you pay
Now?
the cost. I'm sorry. No.
He has to pay the cost
What is your
first.
question?
Can I take my spice and trade, or do I have to trade and then take spice?
So you can resolve things in any order.
Okay, so I could. I'm
But
gonna take.
even this thing, because like you can't worm.
So
into
I'm,
that
I'm sorry,
game.
back up.
Yes.
That's true. He has to have the
So
2 in
the-
advance.
Yeah, Derek rightfully calling that
So you
out.
have to
Right, this
pay
is a
while play-
cost.
when placing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the trickiest board space too because there's a question mark cost.
Check BGG for a.
Either way, I'm trading 3 only.
Okay.
So I just was curious.
Like,
I'd never thought
it's-
through that before.
The
I
answer
like,
was
you guys-
irrelevant.
you
It's
guys-
the
I'm
only
gonna
one
trade
person.
my
Yeah.
3 first. So
But the real answer is you
Worth
must
knowing.
do,
It may not-
you
it
must
may
pay
not
the
matter in
cost
this
game.
first, and because the cost is
Right,
variable,
it is a cost.
I'll also get.
Yes, you need
So
to
you
decide
would have
what
to
your
have it
cost
up
is
front.
as you send
That
it.
makes cool.
Thus, you
That makes
can't
sense. I just thought-
choose a
okay.
number
Pay, like,
above
as placing your
what you currently have.
Took my
Yeah.
spice, sold some
Before
stuff.
you start to
and I think that's what the players have
And,
have
that's a weird spot.
There you go.
Yeah,
arrived
Derek-
at as well.
Derek was on top of things. Thank
Yeah.
you, Derek. So John DeClaire again, kind of doing one of these kind of mediocre, just get a couple faction influence kind of rounds, like not the kind of power rounds you want as the Baron in the mid game. He would have been much happier had he had a Swordmaster by now. He's trashing the guild administrator itself because I
Wow.
think he realizes like I have plenty of faction. He probably
Yeah.
has guild as a masterstroke faction, so he probably realizes there's no way I need all of these spacing guild
Can I
icons
just
in
do
my
a weird
deck.
move?
Why didn't you
Or
play
did
that
you
last
play
turn?
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that last turn. And then this turn I
Oh,
played
this,
that.
oh, okay, sorry.
I don't want to trash that. I'd
Yeah,
rather
yeah,
try.
yeah.
Oh yeah, my bad. I thought you played that.
No.
And then-
Is that ability optional? Do I have to trash a card?
No, I mean, yes, that is not optional.
Yo, he's go.
Okay.
That is the card I want to trash.
So that one's not optional if you play the trash. You have to.
I don't think any of these are optional.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay.
Unless, except for the
I
pay
thought the
one.
trashing was
Anything
the
that
ones
optional.
we
has
have
a
to-
cost is optional.
Right, you don't have to pay the cost, even if you could.
I just thought trashing was optional if you played.
yeah, today I learned.
Trashing is optional.
Trashing is optional.
It is self-defined as you may trash a card. Everything in the game is mandatory, but because that one self-defines itself as you may trash a card, it is thus optional.
What's interesting is John DeClaire has sort of creeped up. He's got 3 points just on faction tracks. And he was drawing a lot of early intrigue cards. We could potentially see some plans within plans if he decides to push any of them further.
That would be fortunate for him. The Baron is probably the best leader at getting 2 points from plans within plans because of Masterstroke.
I was like, surely if I take my Swordmaster, some
But
of those will be
as
worth
much as
it.
he's in the lead now, I don't love his position.
Was it a battle?
Yeah.
Yes.
And where did JC go? I missed it.
JC looks like he went to Fremen because he just gave himself a point. So he moved up on the Fremen track, getting number 2, and moved up on the point track, I believe.
Yeah, no troops to push.
Do the dagger.
Yeah. This is a really troops light game.
Absolutely.
This is very surprising to see.
Only one not getting it?
And grab that guy.
Well, I guess John doesn't have to worry about being blocked on Swordmaster anymore since he's the
Yeah.
only one without one.
He's untrained. I don't.
Yeah, nice for Helena to not be blocked
I will.
and can make that play on the same turn as Derek, keeping that tempo up. Now both of them have High Council and Swordmaster, JC just with Swordmaster.
That's good.
You can see with John's hand how how it kind of hurt to not have Swordmaster. He had Signet Ring in hand.
Mhm.
It also hurt that the Mentat wasn't available for him, because Signet to Mentat, get the Intrigue card, and then get 2 faction bumps would have been nice.
Yeah. Bit of a rough break. He grabs Sardaukar Legion, which can move him up on the Emperor track and can give him 2 troops, or can help him deploy up to 3 troops from his garrison into combat. Maybe setting his eyes on that Emperor track could be looking at plans within plans. And then Opulence comes up. For anybody hoarding money, you get 3 money, or when you reveal, you can spend 6 money to get a point. It's another way of getting a point there. JC making a play.
Chris, I'm curious, would you have been tempted to play to Highliner if you were in John's position? Like, you don't have to put all 5 troops in, but you get 2 water, you replenish your troops, you could trigger Masterstroke, or you could just put like 2 troops in and leave 3 in your garrison.
Yeah, instead of
Fold Space.
Instead of Fold Space, I might have been interested there. It kind of gets it out of the way, and then you can focus on doing other things. Like John already has a fold space in his deck. I never end up going for the spacing guild because fold space gives me too many options. I like to have my options limited, and that helps me sort of focus in and streamline my decision making.
Yeah, I actually think he probably should have gone to Conspire, because that would have gotten him the money he needs for Swordmaster next round.
You're his daddy.
Huh? I'm his dad.
Yeah. Is it uncle? Okay. Uncle. Okay. He's got the same last name.
Are you guys related?
They must be. They're both for cheeses.
Oh yeah.
They're talking about how there's 2 leaders at the table who are related.
They're not riches.
Riches.
I think they're married.
I think they're married as well.
If my memory serves.
He's playing Liette.
I only have 2 cards.
Whoa, unusual.
4 workers.
Must not have Arrakis Liaison.
Well, and he says, I only have 2 cards.
Yeah, you probably should have drawn cards before now, if you had a chance.
One at a time. You're supposed to go, like this.
I do like that single troop push in from JC. I think it's going to see him pay out, even though he's not going to win this, as Derek pushes in too.
Yeah. Force my hand forward.
Yeah, you got first with a single troop.
Most embarrassing like moment on the finals.
Hey guys, it's the finals.
Lay down the ring.
Even this, I mean.
JC happy that he's not going to win it with a single troop, saying, at least we can say he's
all
got
right.
the caliber. There we go. Now there's a fight happening.
Grab a card.
We're all just like emptied.
Let's reserve the Opulence. And he's good too. And let's see.
Wow, some good cards continue to flow. We've got Opulence being reserved by Helena, and Piter just flopped.
Thank you.
Are there any cards that
I'm never gonna remember.
let you drop a guy into the battle from here?
Yes.
You're not going to tell me. Fair enough. Fair.
I'll tell you.
Just giving me that smile.
I will reveal. I did have 6, so that was a good touch.
Thank you.
But you revealed another good card.
Yeah,
so
I got you that
There
guy.
is one.
Yeah.
There's one. I remember from a prior.
Peter.
Someone had it.
Wow, that was a fortunate flop for JC getting Piter.
Wow.
And we have another small little Missionaria Protectiva. JC still has 1 influence he could spend. He could grab that to combo his Bene Gesserits.
It does work well in his deck.
Yeah.
He may not buy it just because he wants to see Jessica more times, but
Yeah.
I bought it a few times and it's
It's
so hard to
blue,
time
which
it.
isn't always the useful,
Right.
but
He grabs it, though, and that's 4 Bene Gesserit in JC's deck. And another gene manipulation that's popped up. It is a good day to be investing in Bene Gesserit. Although we might see Tannen go for that gene manipulation, having Reverend Mother and a Bene Gesserit sister in his deck.
you still got that 1 worker left. You even have a use for it.
Derek making use of his mentat that he won
Never played
by
the
that big
the
push
mentat on the mentat
of
space.
3 troops last round.
You got tons of money.
Wanted to win it.
Draw, right?
Just to get a card.
If you put the mentat there, do you immediately get him back?
He has
I assume he
no.
just stays.
He has
and
no
then
way
he
to get
does
more
the-
firepower
It
in,
becomes your agent
Yeah.
for the turn when you can.
unless he has the ability to go to Hardy Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it here.
We have 2 twos left.
2 more 2s and the 3s.
He only has 2 cards left in his hand, but I guess he's got still some options.
Shouldn't he have 3 in his hand if he went to Arakeen?
Oh yeah, that's true. He said he only had 2 cards with Liette, but then he drew.
Just right now.
Oh yeah, we got some diplomacy, the Death Commando, Reverend Mother,
The worm?
Reconnaissance, Benny Jesse.
No.
He's in
Oh,
play.
wow, he's in play.
Yeah.
How many cards left in your deck?
Oh, I got 1 in
You
there.
still don't even have the
I got
worm juiced up yet.
3 cards in the hand.
So Derek sniffing out whether Fatican Death Commando is about to get revealed and whether he should fight more here. Although I don't know how he can fight more here. He doesn't have access to Siege to Burr.
Way too late to try to
You really want to go deep, right? You like pay attention to what they bought.
I was trying
I
to
think
get
he
all
is
the-
considering Hardy Warriors if he's asking that kind of question to
Yeah.
Tannen.
Play and hope it works
Just
out.
play.
And when the game ends, you can go to the
Oh yeah.
So,
Gotta do something.
Yeah, the Worm Riders were played, so
Oh, power play.
Card's gone.
So that
Willie-
is a big.
Willie wasted on the Fremen where everybody else is fighting, though.
Oh, that's his only option. That's why
Oof.
he doesn't have the spice for
Right?
any of the other faction
Yeah.
port spaces.
Yeah, he has to go there.
Wow.
I guess not wanting to get in that battle, but at least he gets a point out of it. But probably not the point he wanted.
He must have drawn into power play when he went to Arakeen, right? Because otherwise he would have played it earlier.
Yeah.
Power play. You get 1 point.
It gets him a point, but everybody in that race for the Fremen Alliance token, the furthest behind is Tannen, who could use that Alliance token for his Worm Riders.
Do you think he'll push these 2 troops?
I think it's a mistake if he does. I think Tannen's got it regardless.
Yeah, with the way with his body language, it looks like he doesn't have an intrigue card to follow up. You should probably just be happy with second place here, if that's true.
Yeah.
Instead of Hardy Warriors, where's my else?
He might be rolling that back. He hasn't passed the card yet, so it's still his turn.
You revealed? Both of you revealed? Let me instead not go to Hardy Warriors.
Oh, it looks like he's about to play an intrigue card. Oh, does he have infiltrate? If he has infiltrate, that would make sense.
Yeah. Infiltrate, there we go, yeah.
Give him his point
That
back.
just lets you go where someone already is.
Yeah. So now I'll get my walking that in. Keep my walk.
Yeah, and goes for that Space and Guild battle.
Which he's probably going to lose to John.
Yeah, it seems like a surprising choice as well. I don't know if he really needed the fold space, but I might have wanted the benefit of another intrigue card, or even just the benefit of taking the Emperor Alliance token and just like locking that in.
From a village.
I agree with you. I would have gone for the
One
Emperor.
dagger to add to my strength, please. I'll take,
It doesn't look like anybody else.
$5 for the
Tannen didn't have it. He didn't have
Oh,
Beta
wow.
Could have both the daggers. But just not
And now that I bought that, That's all my monies, and I am gonna pass this card.
We heard Derek say he could have had both the daggers, in which case I wouldn't have had them.
Not seeing the planet over there.
4, 5, 6.
I really like Tannen's vibe around the table. Tannen's playing confident. He's like, yeah, you know, I got three cards in my hand. What can you do? He would have bluffed me out at that table for sure.
Me as well. Unless Fadikin is in his discard pile, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I certainly would not have gambled that Fadikin was the last card left that he hadn't drawn.
Yeah, because I don't think Tannen could have had 2 daggers because he's played a dagger in front of him. But we see Derek scoop up that Smuggler's Thopter, and so maybe that's also the choice of going towards the Spacing Guild, because now he can activate it as a 2-card draw whenever he plays.
Yeah, that's a reason.
Red.
Oh, your Worm Rider.
Worm Riders are.
Red gets a point.
Hey, I'm on the board.
Get your 2 intrigue.
Get my first one.
You have 4 intrigue now?
And Tannen has activated the first step of his Worm Riders.
I'll get my 1 intrigue, 1 spice.
And JC opts for an intrigue card over a spice, which makes sense when he doesn't have additional spice to bump him up to a different level. And we're on to round 5.
Yeah, this is one of those games where somebody jumps out to a lead, but that lead starts to erode if they can't get Swordmaster. So I presume John's going to focus on getting Swordmaster this round if he can. But how does he do it? He's got to go to Conspire. I think that's the most efficient route for him.
Yeah, and just give up on that the spice for the Highliner.
They need to clear their troops. So look at these garrisons. Look how many troops are available to these players right now.
Wow. Yeah, it also makes a case for Conspire instead of worrying about Highliner, since you don't really need to push much in at this current juncture.
It was its home.
I was looking at him. Like, this is a good hand.
You're good.
This hand looks pretty good.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
Lady Jessica.
Lady Jessica right off the bat.
To get spice.
Wow, gets a total of 4 spice, I think, from the build-up.
That's a lot of spice.
For 1 water, a great exchange, and drawing 2 cards.
Who doesn't have any?
Ilbon's stuck with no Solari, but
that?
can't blame him. I would not have turned down 4 spice.
3. I got 3
2.
intrigues.
Whoa.
I got 3.
3 what?
3. Everyone's at 3.
3 intrigues.
In fact, we could see JC play to Conspire here if John doesn't.
Derek just checking everyone's intrigue cards. Everybody's sitting at 3 intrigue cards. Not time for a steal just yet. And so draws into that Smuggler's Thopter that he just got. Opts for the free spice, and then we'll also get to draw two cards because of his movement on the Spacing Guild. The fact that he bought Smuggler's Thopter and it's already yielding makes me feel better about that power play decision. But I'm also worried a bit about the composition of Beast's deck. But not really. I suppose he does have Liet Kynes and a couple Arrakis liaisons, and now has a way to draw into them.
And grab this guy.
I'm just gonna protest anytime someone else takes
Pay the cost first.
Yeah, 2 of these guys.
Oh, that's fine.
I feel like that spot is really Elbon's birthright.
Yeah.
Ilban saying it's his birthright for the Mentat, and anyone who takes it away will have hell to pay. He says, I'm just going to object, just on principle. Sure, I don't have Solari.
Draw from your conflicts pile.
It's a long process.
Ordering your conflicts might matter once in a million years.
Yeah, Ilbon Again, fortunate that he was a seat 1 Ilban. Also fortunate that Duke Leto wasn't in the game to try to counter Mentat plays. All right, John looking at his intrigue card. No, that's his hand.
His hand. We see a fold space
I see
there.
a fold space. He should absolutely go to Conspire, I think.
You want to 2 spice?
Yeah, just in order to get his... And we see a dagger there too, so he has what he needs to get that Swordmaster. It's now or never.
Conspire is it kind of flies under the radar of a lot of players. Like it is a very subtly powerful space, just because like it doesn't give you any one thing in abundance, but the fact that it gives you 3 different things makes it incredible. And when it lets you hit a breakpoint for Swordmaster like this, it just becomes really incredible. The only problem could be if he's sitting on 3 intrigue cards that he can't play, and he doesn't want to go to 4.
Yeah. I think that's why we're seeing that hesitation, just especially judging from Derek's earlier question.
We watch or whatever. When you whatever that was. Quizatch or whatever it's called.
Someone did that once.
If that's the case, then sell some spice for Solari, I guess. If he has a triangle, I can't tell.
I thought it was 1.
Well, he does have the fold space. So
the fold space. Yeah, he's got the fold space. Yeah.
I don't know. I might risk it that I can draw into a. No, I would never risk it. The draw into an intrigue card that you can then play. No, that's way too risky. If you draw a combat card and then your plans within plans get stolen, no, I don't want to live that life.
I think only if I had plans within plans would I even slow myself down.
Yeah.
But I think I would risk it, especially if I felt like I'm behind and I need to take risks to win.
Right.
Obviously, John is literally ahead in this game, but obviously the score track doesn't tell the whole story.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see for sure in a couple turns people go from 4 points to 10 points. And I said for sure, so I mean it's an absolute.
Have you already watched this?
I can't go back on it now. No, I haven't, but I now have to cross my fingers that I won't be made a liar.
Oh, yes. I kidnapped
so we're gonna go here. 2 money.
This is trash.
Wow.
2 money, John. That's too little.
Draw a card. And that's finished.
2 money. I guess he's going to be satisfied with a high council and just never get his Swordmaster, but...
Can these run out?
Yeah. If they run out, then we'll just...
Alright. Like
Sorry, they can't.
Okay.
Oh, they can.
No, I mean, well, yeah. Yeah, there's 4.
Well, if
But
everyone
this
buys
one's
them,
in there.
yeah.
Okay.
This one's back in there.
Maybe his other line is
Start a slow process of refining or
if he's sitting on another, like a way to go to Highliner, and he triggers Master Stroke, and he's got Spacing Guild, he will get 3 more Solari from reaching the Alliance on the Spacing Guild track, and maybe he's just saying, I'll just get Swordmaster next round.
Roll over to Nick's side. I don't want that.
So we did not see JC play a combo card with Jessica. A little surprising that we just saw the Signet.
Yeah.
And he just like sold a bunch of spice. He's now sitting on 11 Solari.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to start the slow process of making sure I can always draw cards.
Seems a little excessive to me, but we'll see. I wonder if he's sitting on a Chom shares.
The constant Mentat.
I don't want that.
He's got the Mentat for the rest of the game if he wants.
Yeah, he has it for the rest of the game, and then beyond when the game ends, he can play more rounds and get the Mentat.
Yeah, once everyone's packing up. It is. He hasn't yet gone to the High Council, so he might have designs for that as well.
True.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna.
We see Derek go again to the Bene Gesserit to trash and draw 2.
He's fighting.
Really going for that Liat Kynes combo, hoping for, I think.
And then bump me up, please. I'm dropping these.
Tannen going to Hardy Warriors and
Straight in. Yep.
getting 2 troops who are the only troops on the board right now.
Which is wild. At least now the Highliner push of 4 feels a little bit better if you're John.
Sure.
You know, rather than nobody being in there.
Right.
At least you're taking it away from somebody.
Yes.
Unless he doesn't have it.
I see 2 daggers in his hand. He doesn't have it.
Plays the voice, which he picked up a little bit ago. Just picking up a lot of these sort of lower cost cards. I feel like John's deck is the most mishmashed out of everybody. He's got a space travel in there, Sardaukar Legion, the voice.
Oh, I get to do this thing. That's right. Thought there was something else. Choose a board space. Who do I not want going where?
JC, you don't get to go to the High Council
Are you
now.
guys to fight? No one has any troops, so I should block a troop and then placements. Right? That makes sense.
He's probably going to block
We're all
Carthag.
loaded on
Yeah.
intrigue. Right? We're all just like maxed on intrigue.
With that comment, sounds like he might block Arrakeen instead.
You have water, so you could card draw. I don't think you're gonna card draw. You don't. Do you know intrigue? Do you know card draw? Do you know intrigue? Cool. You guys were go here.
Yeah, it makes sense with them all being. Oh, you know, he makes the change.
That's it.
I don't blame him.
Yeah,
I think even though people are at 3 intrigues, doesn't mean that they can't easily just play an intrigue and get another
Yeah.
one. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek did say we are all at 3, but I think John also happy in his choice.
John desperately hoping to get second place here to get the 2 Solari that he needs.
Right.
What system?
I just thought of it.
The trash system.
They're trashing, so you know where you're trashed. Instead of like, what did I trash? What do I have left?
Once I trash something, I just never think about it again. It's gone.
Yeah,
What have you played this turn? Not played.
I played
I thought it was yesterday card.
Now we'll see if JC is able to do a Benny Gesserit combo.
He's been calling your name.
This would be the time to play Missionaria Protectiva to Arrakeen, get a faction bump, and push a troop in.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. You'd rather have like a giant ship with a bunch
It's starting to get
a
a little late for. Whoa! Surprising. No other Benny Gesserit. He's just
Wow.
going for.
Just goes for that
High
High Council.
That's right.
Starting
Well,
to get a little late for gene manipulation. That's like a great combo card, but it's better earlier in the game when the trash matters.
Just like on a different planet.
Yeah, you're not very nice. Not very nice, so we don't want to.
Just doing something else completely.
Yeah, that nasty bound.
Baron doesn't even know where Arrakis is.
I do enough spice and mess with the mind.
Yep. I will compost 1 card.
Oh, you took the lead? Come on. I guess you're the worm thing. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, he might even get more of it if he wins his
I
combo.
know. Seriously.
Oh. Did not get this. Let me get this used. 2 cubes.
Yeah, Tannen has just subtly moved up in that Fremen area. He's 1 away. If he wins this combat, as pointed out by JC, he will take that alliance token and activate the full potential of his Worm Riders.
Well, he is in last place right now on the score track. He has 0 influence with Benny Gesserit, Spacing Guild, and only 1 with Emperor. So probably, even if he gets there, it's not like a shock.
He's at 4.
Or it's not going to inspire fear that he's just going to like run away with the game, I guess.
Recall.
I told you I'd tell you. Let's see, I can't put you guys in, so.
Alright, I pass.
Yeah, Tannen's saying he's going to 4 with his entry cards, but I think we can see him ready to play 1 in this battle.
Duncan, finally.
It's your birthright.
He was calling me all game.
Alright, flipping.
The Baron absorbs Duncan into his army.
I think our retreat ability is really good.
That's true. You never buy that one.
You're like, I'm in there until like it doesn't look good, and then we'll just leave.
Yeah, the
If
problem
it
is you
keeps
the
looking
problem
good,
is you
that's
have
fine.
to decide like when you
Before,
reveal.
yeah.
You know, so.
you're done. Start.
What am I doing? Oh, yeah. I'll get there.
I will reveal 2, 4, 6, 10, 12. I'll buy a spice.
12.
Actually, no. I'll buy the gene first.
Yeah.
You want the gene first.
Buys the G manipulation first. Another Bene Gesserit combo. Stilgar pops up.
Wow, it's a good card, but I don't think he's going to turn down a Spice Must Flow.
Yeah.
Blue. Hello, Bob. I'm not with you guys.
Three-way tie now, and we are likely to see Tannen get a couple points here, and might end up being a four-way tie at the end of this combat.
Well, yeah, he'll be able to choose 2, moves up 1 on Fremen, and then we'll move up 1 on either Emperor or Bene Gesserit.
My opening hand.
Great.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, the Beast might have a Spice Must
11,
Flow.
12. Another 12.
Now, was that a Liet Kynes reveal? I'm not seeing Liet
I
Kynes,
think
but
so.
might have been played towards the top there.
So that's really good.
He is. I love it.
Yeah, it has to be, with what I'm seeing. Has to be Liet Kynes.
Takes that Spice Must Flow.
Probably should
breaks
take
that
another
time.
liaison.
Want anything else? Alright, got a guy on deck, but I'm just gonna reveal. Get the Worm Rider out going.
Tanner not using all of his options. Oh, he had.
I know. I couldn't
Whoa!
make- I
Oh,
couldn't punish you
right.
guys,
If he played
but-
Mohaim,
But
Mohaim
I'm
wouldn't
gonna-
have done
okay, so I'm
anything.
gonna go
Right.
here, so I'll take the 4 plus.
Is it 2 or 4?
This is 4.
But wait, he turned down playing Dune the Desert Planet
And
to
then
secure
I'll take 2
contract.
spice for her. And I got 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy Steel
Why?
Guy.
I think
Oh,
he
'cause
just
he
wanted
wanted
to keep
Stilgar.
it. Yeah.
No, he wanted Stilgar. That makes sense. He
Keep
needed
it
it.
for Stilgar.
That's kind of why.
And that gives him another Fremen to potentially combo in with his Fadican Death Commando,
I'm done.
should they come up together.
We're all done, right?
It's kind of amazing
Combat.
how lopsided this game is in terms of like
You
how
wanna
far
play?
behind on Solari John is. Like every other player has
Yeah.
Swordmaster and High Council.
Yeah.
John has neither.
John has 6 Solari. And
Pass.
hoping for second.
Likewise.
Hoping he stays in second to get that too.
Gets 2 bumps.
20 and 1.
Got it.
He gets it. That's a pretty clutch second place.
Point, and then water. So this over to you. You get a point. And then the other one go
And then my other bump, let's do.
You spike. Is that what you just
I just did it.
We'll go here.
Wow.
He goes for Emperor.
Why did you get it?
Again hits that
I
tie.
got double
Just
bump.
like that, everybody's still in it.
Choose 2.
Yep. So Derek is now the one who has the literal lead. Do you think he is in what you would consider the
I'll
best
take it.
position, or is it too close to call?
I don't. I still think it's JC right now. For me, it's between Tannen and JC, just in terms of how their deck composition has been built.
Yeah, blue.
JC and the amount of Bene Gesserit that he has, especially because
It looks like
I
all
think
4. I didn't
he
even read the text.
has the other memory, although
I
that
thought
looks
it
like
was
it's
amazing. I was like, I wish I could fight for this better.
it's in front of him, so maybe not. Maybe he had to reveal it. I was thinking if he could take other memory and just put Jessica right back in. Oh, he's shuffling his deck, so.
Shuffling every single turn.
Yeah, I think JC's deck composition is pretty strong, and I think Tannen is picking up steam as well right now.
Final points for.
What about you, Paul?
John, you want to snag your agents and your dead?
I agree that they have the 2 strongest decks, with a possible exception of Derek, if Derek can kind of like draw into Liet again, and you know, Liet
Yeah.
can just win a game, even when you don't have like the best deck.
Right.
Just Liet and a bunch of Arrakis liaisons can sometimes get the job done.
And he does
But-
have 2 water. He's primed to draw 3.
He has 2 water, but so does every other player at the table, so that's not really an
Right.
advantage.
I do like the potential of John, though, still having yet to reveal his master stroke, although it does feel a little bit later. If he does go to Highliner, can bump up and get that spacing, and he picked, if we've read correctly, that he maybe picked Fremen and Spacing Guild as his
I don't think he picked Fremen at this point.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I'm guessing he picked Emperor and Spacing Guild.
Yeah. It
Maybe
feels like
maybe Bene Gesserit and Spacing Guild.
I feel useful.
Yeah.
The way he's played to Fremen makes me think he just got his 2 plays there to get a point, and he's not expecting any more.
yeah.
Did you get a second water when I wasn't paying attention? I had one.
I won the conflict as 3rd place for the water.
Well done.
Yes. And the 1 troop. No guy can have his water.
So
He's
the beast
playing the
does.
Signet Ring.
The beast does have an advantage in these kinds of games where like there's a troop drought where his ring just like generates extra troops now.
Mhm.
Does he have a faction alliance? He does not.
Not yet, no.
Okay, well that's a disadvantage.
But
By
he gets
this-
that 1 troop and is primed for a Highliner now.
True. Just by this point in the game, as when I play as the beast, I really try to get a faction alliance so that the ring gets super powered.
Start off the day at 1.
Tentatively pushes his 1 troop when there's like nobody else on the battlefield.
That seems too quiet out here. It seems a little suspicious to me.
Me? Oh, fantastic. Let's play our Dune the Desert Planet, and we'll hit up the sell melange action. We'll sell 2 of these.
Interesting.
And get some more money.
Why does he want the money?
Oh, he does have opulence in his deck.
Yeah.
Oh, opulence. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
You have 3. You have
So that'll be worth a point for Tannen.
Oh yeah, sorry, forgot. That's
I mean, he passed the card.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
so
Wait until you
I'm
pass.
Hopefully
fine
John
if he wants
has-
to play it. I'm fine. What do you guys?
a way to get Swordmaster this round, though he doesn't have to get it first action.
I'm assuming,
Well, in
right?
that case.
Stays out.
Well,
And Tannen forgot that he had four intrigue. You can see that John asked him after he passed the card, and Tannen said, "Oh yeah, I guess I could." And the players around the table said, "Well, he passed the card, so."
Yeah, maybe they're all terrible.
Rules are
Some
rules, I
entry
guess.
card if you want it.
Tannen's saying, "Yeah, don't worry, the entry card just makes you lose the game, but you can take it from me if you want."
I sure could use a 3rd guy.
We hear John talking to himself, I sure could use a 3rd guy.
He's got a fold space in his hand, so he definitely has access.
But I think he's now tempted just to take that intrigue from Tannen.
We'll
Yeah, I don't blame him.
blunder. If it was a blunder. Whoop. I will draw 1.
This could be great for John if he does, in fact, have Master Stroke peg Spacing Guild and Bene Gesserit.
Same way back and forth.
Mhm.
That'll be sweet.
Show
Yeah,
it to
that
the
would be
camera, John.
great.
Show it to the camera.
Did I get the good one?
You can have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the.
Tannen says you can have it.
There may be a few.
Are you done?
Tannen feeling happy with John's draw.
I did that. I did
Yeah,
that.
I'm just
I did
asking
this.
for the card. If you're
I
done.
moved up. Yeah. What is going on here?
Can you tell what that conflict is for? It's Arakeen, perhaps?
Yeah, let me look at my cards that I have in front of me. It should be for
Oh.
Arakeen, yeah.
Yeah, it's money. Yeah, Solari for 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
Rings are pretty similar. The red.
I like the style ring. Is it like wooded, like a thin wood inside?
This is typically the calm before the storm round, but a point is a point.
Wood with a resin.
A point's a point, and currently the Beast is getting away with it with 1.
There's no way he's getting this for 1.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't know,
That's
Paul.
when I
No one seems to want to put any troops in.
I think this could be a Master Stroke round from John. I think he could go Swordmaster, then
Yeah.
Highliner.
As long as
Obviously-
Highliner stays open, but I don't
Yeah,
see
the-
Derek doing it with nobody puts pressure on.
Watching later.
Yeah, Derek is green though. Derek could be thinking, "Hey, I'm going to go for the Space Guild Alliance."
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this isn't as interesting as I thought it would be.
But Derek just has so few faction symbols in his deck, right? Like, he's going to be scrambling just to have the chance of going up faction tracks.
And I don't know what.
Tannen, I think, just talking about his partner or his wife saying, yeah, she's gonna skip watching this after 10 minutes. Just skip to the end.
This guy just this person just never works.
I don't know. This has been a pretty interesting game so far. Just it's played out unlike a lot of games of Dune that I've seen, which is fairly exciting. A heavy, lots of really nice cards that have come out, and lots of exciting deck builds that people have.
Yep. So interestingly, JC played his Missionaria Protectiva first this round. He's probably setting up a combo with Gene Manipulation?
I guess Gene Manipulation to get some spice.
Or he just really wanted to draw cards and...
Yeah, we see Derek go for that highliner. We see John scratching his head.
Wow.
I think John definitely wanted to do Swordmaster highliner.
He's not bored, troops.
I mean, on the other side of the coin, if John does have Masterstroke triggered to Spacing Guild, and he can just wait till next round to trigger it and jump ahead of Derek, it might be better for him because he'll then win a Conflict 3 with the highliner.
Yeah, he has been sitting on that spice, that 6 spice, for almost the entire game. Biding his time, as the Baron does. Derek choosing how much to push in right now.
Yeah, it's always tough to decide how much to push in with this kind of play when nobody else has any troops.
Yeah. 4 feels like he's guaranteed to win it. 3 feels like he's inviting some competition. Although, who knows with Tannen, Tannen does have Worm Riders in his in his discard as he's showing right now. I think everybody jumping to that same thought.
It'll be interesting to see if Staged Incident is in anybody's hands. Like, this is kind of like one of the perfect situations for Staged Incident, when you push in a lot of troops, scare everybody off, and then sacrifice 3 troops from combat for an extra point. But 4 troops isn't really enough to stay ahead in that case.
Yeah, Derek deciding if he wants to put more in, but seemingly opting not to.
I was waiting to pass the card.
Josh work more.
Okay.
I agree with you. This game is definitely different.
We're gonna play.
It is abnormal from my expectations, but excitingly so.
Yeah.
We'll play the old. Hey, look, my first one I played. Dispatch and Envoy.
Nobody has gone to Mentat this round.
We'll drop.
Tannen getting to go to wherever he wants.
Fatican.
To go here for 2 spices.
He must have played. Oh, he played.
Yeah, he played his plot
so
card.
Now I get to do the double trash, right?
Compost cards in my hand.
Trash 1 for this, trash 1 for that. Let's start with this guy. Let's get rid of that dagger. I don't want to see that anymore. And let's.
Did you go up on that track yet?
Nope. Thank you, sir. Important portion, huh? Yeah.
So he can trash 2 cards with this play because Death Commando trashes and Selective Breeding trashes.
I'm gonna trash
Other
dagger.
Trashing that from his hand. Wanting to get those daggers out of the way.
Okay. What did I forget to do now? I think I've done that. Moved up on the track. Fantastic.
Making good use of dispatching an envoy.
One of the most fun intrigue cards in the game, I think. It lets you do plays that you just don't see, like sending something that normally you see played to like a triangle to go up to a politics space.
Yeah. and gives you that flexibility, which is key.
Yep, 12.
Yeah, the amount of great cards that have come out, nobody has gone for Carryall. Carryall has been left in the Imperium row for the entire game, even longer than Sardaukar Infantry.
It is a high variance card. It
Yeah.
can be great, but it can also bite you if you draw it at the wrong time. So I don't blame you if you're on like a tournament game you don't want to like rely on luck of the draw.
Who's gonna commentate on the video?
Well, we don't know yet.
Ah, okay.
Or at least I don't know yet.
Yeah.
They might.
We will.
It
We
was fun
will.
Last year. It was
We're here, Tannen.
Right, was the one who's commentating on.
It's
The designer of the board game. I think it was.
I think so, yeah.
It was. And he's here
Is
again.
it
We're
Chris?
here again. Yep.
oh yeah, Chris. Yeah,
Chris and-
he also runs the qualifier tournaments around everywhere.
Okay.
We're talking about you, Chris.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like it when they're talking about you, because then I can just pump you up.
I got to see you. You weren't in commentating mode at the World Series of Board Games this year. You were in behind the scenes science mode. You're like the guy in Empire Strikes Back who's like plugged in with his helmet. And he's like controlling everything.
Well, that's why I was wearing that helmet, just for that reference.
Like a cyborg.
We see John play the fold space. And opts
my
not
God.
for Swordmaster.
What is going on?
I am finally. I finally
Chooses-
discovered that Arrakis exists.
Welcome.
The Baron has arrived on Arrakis, but he left his personal guard behind.
Wow, he must have like a line on a Spice Must Flow this round, and he didn't want to give it up.
Yeah. And also with Derek taking the Highliner play, he doesn't maybe have good use of that that third agent.
High Council.
Yeah, well now he's probably never going to get a third agent.
Oh, and he grabs a couple extra spice for having a seat on the High Council. So a little.
That was probably the card he was talking about.
Yeah.
Blaming the designer.
We can kick you off.
Yeah, he just said I didn't want to go to the High Council, but that card made me do it.
Well, then the design worked.
Get the entry cards out of his hand.
Yep. Damn, 2 and 1.
Well,
Go to Wales and get a point, I guess.
No Benny Gesserit at play here.
Get a point.
Yeah. Goes for wealth, gets a point. Not a bad move considering his other positions. He's blocked in Benny Gesserit. He doesn't need to move up on Fremen anymore.
Oh, I got 4.
I'm just a little surprised he didn't go to Mentat
Yeah.
as Ilpan. I'm just so eager to go to Mentat every round.
He did already draw 3 cards. So
True.
it might be that he knows he doesn't have Lady Jessica, and maybe he doesn't want to draw into Lady Jessica and wants to make sure he can Spice Must Flow back to back.
True. And if he doesn't have Lady Jessica in hand, both Benny Gesserit spots are taken, so he wouldn't be able to play Lady Jessica to the Benny Gesserit.
More troops.
Yeah, Derek goes to
Wow,
just make good on that smuggler stopper.
if Derek does have stage incident here and he's the only one who commits troops here,
Yeah.
that would be the best time to play a staged incident.
He's checking his intrigue cards. He heard you. Tannen just preserving the voice, giving him some options in case he's able to bully the players with the Reverend Mother later on down the line.
Okay, did the ring. Gonna put my guy on.
Wow, and if Derek doesn't have staged incident, he probably feels kind of bad here about losing 4 troops to
Yeah.
fight against nobody.
Okay, sorry. I'm going here.
Oh, maybe red will push something.
Get one of these. And a cube to go in. I'm coming. I don't want you to be lonely in there. Hold on. So, I think so.
Yeah, Derek will feel better about those 4 troops. I feel like 3 troops was inviting competition. 4 troops was saying, listen, this is
Stay
my
away.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it's a really nice balance between the two because
I got 3.
it's an agonizing decision either way.
You guys can give me no, I'm gonna recall the one from the spot that no one is ever gonna go again.
Oh, urgent mission.
Oh,
Oh, what is this? Is she gonna?
also maybe the reason why he opted for a High Council, thinking, listen, we've got maybe 2 to 3 more rounds in the game. I can at least use this as 1, make up the difference of the Swordmaster.
Yeah, if he can go to Conspire here, that would give him a point and set him up for Swordmaster next round. Although at this point,
Surprise.
it's almost like he just should give up on
Avoid
Swordmaster.
it. Yeah, I think the decision was High Council or Swordmaster. He made his High Council choice, and now his Solari will be saved for the Signet Ring.
He must have a plan. He wouldn't have played Urgent Mission if he didn't have a plan.
There's a Signet Ring. Can go take the Mentat.
Mentat.
Or Ilbon. His birthright being snatched from him.
Well, he had his chances. He turned it down. And now John is at 0 Solari, spending from the ring.
Yeah.
And is he going to play one of his intrigue cards, or is he just going to sit on 4 since Secrets is blocked?
Yeah, it was surprising that JC, maybe a misplay from JC, going to Wealth instead of taking that Mentat when he had so much wealth already. Could have gone to that Emperor track pretty much whenever he wanted.
Here's the combo, the gene manipulation.
Yeah, you can tell that he wanted to use that for the Mentat.
He should have done it last turn.
Yeah. Feels like the first misplay we've seen from JC in terms of timing.
Unless what you were saying is true, like he just wants to set up Jessica for next round.
Yeah.
He trashed a Dune from his hand, it looked like, so
Yeah.
he must have still enough to buy a Spice Must Flow in hand.
Yeah.
Did he take 2 Spice for the
He
gene
did. Yeah,
manipulation?
JC did. Yeah. A couple daggers, and then the Beast grabbing the Spice Must Flow.
Wow.
Yeah, Liet Kynes really coming in clutch. I think a nice pivot, knowing just to take Arrakis Liaison, and that's it. And then getting that card draw with the Smuggler Thopter. I like the Smuggler Thopter play even more now in retrospect. I wasn't sure about his push on the Spacing Guild, but I really do like Derek having gone there in the past. Yeah, Tannen playing a nice Opulence play as well, moving into 6 points. Derek will be at 7 points, though, after this.
He's low on resources, so Derek is going to potentially be in the lead, but how is he gonna muster up enough forces to fight for the final battles?
He's banking on the Spacing Guild Alliance, and I think we're going to see the Baron take that next round. And I think that'll be a blow to Derek's plans and his tempo.
I could believe that would happen. I think it would make for a more exciting game.
So everyone's out of dudes, right?
Because he would. Well, like we said earlier, though, Derek hasn't really been buying many faction icons, so
yeah.
How is he going to convert his last points here? He's got 0 on the Fremen. He does need that Spacing Guild Alliance, I guess.
Yeah. He needs to get the Space and Guild Alliance, he needs to get another Spice Must Flow, or he needs to win the next combat. But I don't see him winning next round's combat, so if he gears up and hopes that if he were to get Space and Guild, but I think the writing is still on the wall for the Baron to take that.
Yeah. He's also playing 4th in round 7, which is a little bit of a disadvantage. Like some of the best spaces might be taken. Research station might be taken before he can even play his first agent.
And John also limps into this combat, which I really like because the reward will be Solari, and that'll let him activate the Baron's ability maybe one more time.
Or just take the Mentat.
Or take the Mentat.
Another Spice Must Flow as predicted for JC.
Yeah.
So 3-way tie now.
Just
Yeah,
maybe.
he's also
The Baron has officially stalled out.
+2. All of 4 money.
Okay.
You have council.
Oh, right, 6%.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't have a Spice Must Flow.
Take this recruiter. See what we get. Something good for 4.
He's just digging, hoping to find something good. Another space travel. He already has
Another
one.
space travel.
Don't think he's happy with his deck this game.
Alright, combat.
First,
I swear, I've memorized.
Alrighty.
Information spills on my head.
Drop 7.
Boom.
It's the tie. which is
Wow.
bad.
6, 7.
Wait, it might.
Wow, he's playing for a tie?
I might have some intrigue cards,
Oh
guys.
no!
I assume we're all letting him take that
He
back.
miscalculated. He thought he was going for a tie.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to play.
That's fine with me.
yeah.
Public knowledge, I got
He's
some.
Oh,
passing.
Tannen's
We all get some
Tannen's
public
showing
knowledge.
his hand.
We'll take that move
He's
back.
got 7.
It's hard to do math upside down. Okay.
I'm going crazy over here.
The upside down math.
Okay.
He thought he was
The-
at 3 strength.
Yeah.
So, in a sense, it doesn't.
An integral part of a Paul Dennen design. You have to be good at upside down
Upside
math.
out math. Wow. That is interesting now. Like the whole table now knows he has
Yeah.
at least 7 swords.
For those 2 animal objectives, yeah. So that's
Is John
something
thinking
really-
here? Like, is this an indication that John has a lot of swords as well? The fact that he's not passing immediately?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, you're 1 away from both, right? I think it's kinda-
Derek's
Derek.
been sitting on his intrigue cards for a long time,
Literally.
and
One or both.
I think he's had opportunities to play combat earlier, maybe with these same intrigue cards, and didn't. So maybe that might be what John's thinking and remembering.
Get a point, and the banner.
But opts for second place to get the 4.
Grizzlies.
Okay, nice. Well done. We'll
We
spice up the
have
middle
1
spot.
spice.
Oh, take my trip back.
So Derek now at 8 points, or did they
Derek-
already move him up to
I
7?
know they already moved him, yeah. So Derek at 7, both JC and Tannen at 6, and John at 4 currently.
I don't think this game is going to end next round.
I certainly don't think it will either. I think we're going at least to 8.
I'm ready for it.
What do we got? Boom, big points.
It's a big one.
Points. This is where the Baron can get back in with a nice Highliner play.
Oh, Derek
that's-
gets a troop on this one, I think. He just took Arakeen.
Oh yeah.
Back to back. He's still fighting.
He's still fighting, he says.
I mean, if Derek wins this combat, I think he just wins.
Yeah. But I don't see how John is unstopped in Highliner unless he doesn't draw into spacing. He's used his fold space.
Some dreams have to die.
If he doesn't draw spacing, he is the unluckiest
Yeah.
player, considering how many icons he has.
Well, I don't know if he has that many because he got rid of his guild
Oh, that's right.
administrator, and so
He trashed
he's
it.
only banking on space travel or diplomacy.
We'll lock that in.
Alright.
Has he used all his fold spaces? He might have.
I think he's used 2 fold space, and he's at 2 on the spacing guild, so I think he's taken 2. So I think it's fold space are out.
They came out back to
We're
back.
still
I was
fighting.
confused.
What's happening?
It's a lesser known.
So Tanner's
The battle
first here.
comes out
Tanner might open with
bad
research
and have to get
station.
free troops
Oh.
directly into the battle.
Yeah.
Oh man, we didn't do that.
Tanner's not
Oh.
not showing a lot of
Clearly it
combat
didn't matter.
potential other than Worm
How many
Riders.
entry cards
Yeah.
are there?
But I mean, that is a great thing to have in your back pocket now that he's reshuffled. Nobody knows what he's going to
I
have.
want my card back, whatever.
And we see Tannen asks
Oh.
John Declare, "Hey, how many entry cards you got over there, bud?" And
You also get entry cards.
this is on the other foot. We'll see if he gets it back.
Okay, now I've got this.
They've traded intrigue
Intrigue
cards.
Here, intrigue there. I've got so many intrigues. Okay. Did I bump that?
Doesn't look like John Declare was overly thrilled with the pull. I feel like Tannen got a better card than what John got from him.
I feel like John may want to Mentat right now to block JC from it.
Yeah. And importantly, diplomacy was played last time for John. He plays Sardaukar Legion.
Yeah, he could have played that to Mentat, but he's playing it to the Emperor, which is reasonable because it gets him a point.
Yeah. And he is at 6 Solari.
Not sure what he's going to do with all that Solari. Oh, he's stealing the Mentat.
Oh, he steals the Mentat with a spice. A great
Calculated
play.
hire. Perfect play by John. There.
Mm-hmm.
I take back my criticism. I wonder if he's been sitting on that and if that somehow convinced him to go High Council instead of Swordmaster, thinking like, oh, I've got this card that gives me an extra action later.
Right, yeah. His plot cards were sort of person-focused.
Yeah, he had Urgent Mission, which I think I could make an argument that it's the strongest intrigue in the deck, because it just lets you recall an agent to take another turn.
Still your turn?
No.
It's my turn.
I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
Where's that blue card?
You hit him with
Sorry.
That's it for me.
Oh,
Exciting stuff.
Player's waiting for John to pass the card. He does, and runs to the washroom.
This is a game where you can discuss things to do to other players.
Are there rules where they have to stop playing because he is away from the table, or do they keep playing?
I don't think there are firm and set rules, but I think the players have adopted this.
Dune Imperium obviously doesn't have a way to interact when somebody else is taking a turn. There's no cards that let you do that.
Yeah.
But I suppose out of courtesy, if he's not there at the table, he might lose track of
What
the game.
people have done. Yeah. I think it is more just a courtesy thing. So nice of the players to wait for each other.
This is the time where they should be conspiring against the Baron. If this was real Dune,
He was playing. Yeah.
he wants too much power.
Yeah, but the beast is there,
Oh, true.
ready to rough up anybody who talks.
Yeah, true.
Who talks
Beast has
behind
his
the
back.
Baron's back. Yeah.
We're mighty and tall, but we'll take a Sharpie and change.
Well, while we wait for this bathroom break to finish, I'll cut ahead for when John sits back down. But you can go ahead and check out Dune Imperium on digital. There's a download for it. I'm going to roll that right now.
Arrakis, Dune, the desert planet. Experience the award-winning strategy of Dune Imperium as never before. Take board game battles online with friends or hone your tactics against clever AI opponents. Unique challenges test your ability to adapt and survive. Control the spice. Control the universe in Dune Imperium.
And we are back. Well, back a few seconds ago. John, Declare, and Derek are back from the washroom. JC making his play. Grabbing. I think he's looking at his discard pile right now. which he must be pulling Lady Jessica, but he's flirting with Missionaria Protectiva, deciding if he wants that bump.
It's so easily blocked by the other players, though, if they think that they want to block him.
Yeah.
Let's see what my last energy is.
Yeah, it takes Lady Jessica, which is seems like a sensible play, enables another Spice Must Flow.
Oh, yeah. So it's draw or, right?
Yeah, right. Drew first, I drew over there.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Sorry. This is it. Those two guys will defeat the forces of evil.
JC, pretty confident that those two guys are going to get the job done. I think Baron's going to have something to say about it.
It seems like Baron might have something to say about it. I feel like JC will enjoy second or third from this battle.
Wow, if the Master Stroke is for Spacing Guild and Bene Gesserit, then John is going to suddenly pull off 4 points this round. If everything works out, he'll get...
Unless Derek goes right here and locks in the alliance, which
oh, you're
he's
right.
going to.
Oh.
That is clutch. You hear John say Rutrow. Wasn't expecting that.
Okay, $3.
All right, I'm not.
Yeah, John maybe not having access to it, or else might have gone first to there. John's first play was
Okay, I do have a question.
He
with
went
the
to...
Sardaukar Legion.
Oh, you're right.
The
Sardaukar
Emperor
Legion
track.
doesn't give access, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Don't touch the board.
I think in these moments, I should be playing Sandstorm.
Is Tannen asking a question to the judge?
Yeah. Yeah, Tannen asking just a card clarification question that he wants to do in private to the judge to make sure he doesn't have to reveal his hand to the table.
Fantastic. All right, we're clear. Let's go. It's good news. Let's go with the Death Commando. We're gonna go here. We're gonna get AR2 water.
Probably asking trash order of operation.
Hmm.
And a mandatory trash.
And I have to trash something. All right, what do we want to trash?
I hope he doesn't hurt his hand by thinking that he has to trash something.
Yeah.
He could also, if he thinks that he has to trash something, at this point he could just trash the Death Commando itself.
Yeah, because it's not gonna.
Or, actually I wouldn't do that because
Or
of
the Bene Gesserit.
the Bene Gesserit, yeah.
But may not want to do that as well, just to
True.
give him that in that alliance fight.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
We'll get rid of.
Alright.
He is getting rid of the Commando, it looks like.
Running tableau. Give me out. I got this myself.
Well, it is fair. He doesn't really have the Fremen for the Fremen bond. He has Stilgar in his deck, and he has the Worm Riders.
All right,
Yep.
nice. We'll
But he's gotten a decent amount of cards at this point.
Yeah.
Then
Two
two
our
cubes.
commando.
Did so much work and they just come off.
He died in fight.
So that voids.
And
Obviously, having too valuable a hand.
That is it for me. Pass the card. Give me the count.
unfortunately, I don't have anyone to go in.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
If John does have Spacing Guild access, he
13, 14.
doesn't need to use it on this action. He has two actions here.
Yep.
Nobody else has nearly enough spice to go to Highliner.
Yeah.
In fact, he might just get spice from Hugger Basin.
Here.
Goes for Duncan. Going to push troops in that way. Push four troops in that way. If he gets his troop from Carthage, troop from Duncan.
Move them in. Thinking about it.
I've never seen
I get a troop from
a Master Stroke triggered by Duncan at a that's for sure.
Tree card. score?
Draw a card.
I did. Oh, and then I draw a card. All right, and that does
Water, right?
Is John going to push the troops in or not?
He did pay water.
I'm done.
I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean, 2 points on the line.
He decides not to.
What?
No, right. I can put them in, and I will put them in.
Pass the thing already.
Other people. This is my first takesy backsy the whole game, and it's like 1 second after I did it.
Someone called you on it.
Okay, guys.
Or are they questioning whether he should be allowed to push? Oh no, that's so unfortunate since he
Derek.
very quickly said, "Oh, I can push them."
Told you.
Okay.
I mean, rules are rules, but
Yeah, Derek being the
Told me
one to
pass
call him
the card,
out
and I
saying,
passed it, though. Which is, I know how it's been going all game long.
Colors. Like colored cards.
yeah, JC saying, unfortunately someone's challenged you, said I would have let you take it back, I think.
yeah, I mean, anybody who doesn't think they're going to win this combat would be much happier to see John win this combat since he's in 4th place.
Yeah, that's obviously why Derek is being a stickler for the rules, because Derek is hoping to win this as a combat.
Yeah, I guess from a karma perspective, I'm hoping that John has a highliner play to make so that
Yeah.
he can get a ton of troops in regardless, and that will become irrelevant.
Derek goes for that spice must flow.
Wait, so Derek questioned it,
Yeah.
but Derek wasn't fighting for the win here, so
Yeah.
questionable call by Derek to try to stop John here. I think he would be happier if John won this one.
Yeah, it feels like John being 1 point behind JC, it would benefit Derek to have let him take it back.
And he has no Swordmaster, so he has less actions coming in the future. Whereas if JC wins this battle, gets another Spice Must Flow, what else can JC do to win? JC just needs one influence with the Bene Gesserit to get another point.
Yeah. And an unblockable point, too. So yeah, if JC wins this, he's at 8. Then gets a Spice Must Flow for 9, goes Bene Gesserit. That's the path to victory for JC.
What's the unblockable point that you're referring to?
Oh, just in Bene Gesserit. It's not an alliance token.
Right.
Yeah. Whereas it's John and Tannen vying for that alliance token point.
Yeah. There's no way JC should be able to win this combat. Unusual play by Tannen. Diplomacy to still suits. What did that do for him? It just scares people away from chasing him on the alliance. Like, I guess he couldn't go to selective breeding, which he would have loved to have gone to for the alliance there. Fold space was blocked from him.
You have a guy to a spot.
Yeah, but if like the card goes somewhere that I can't go,
If the spot is blocked, you can't.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like John does not have space in guild access because I think he'd be playing it
Yeah,
right now.
I think John wants to play something that has a blue circle on it, because all of those spots are blocked up.
Wow, that is so unfortunate that he could have triggered Master Stroke.
Yeah. An exciting Master Stroke with Duncan Idaho, too. I mean, it does give him... If Derek is the person to take down right now, which it certainly seems to be, lets him keep the troops in reserve, he can potentially win 2 if it goes for another 2 rounds.
It's not going to go for another 2 rounds.
Yeah, Derek's within inches and seems to be getting Spice Must Flow pretty much every time.
7 9, you are correct.
If JC wins this battle, it's looking to be 9-9 going into the 8th round.
Yeah.
Yep, you are correct. Okay. Yes, so I will take this back. This one.
If not, I mean, JC could just win.
Yeah.
Okay.
So unfortunate for John.
Opts not to push anything in
That's a mistake.
because he could have at least gotten
Go for second place here.
Second place, right?
I think he's tilted.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it.
I have 3 swords. I'm at 9. I buy a spice most flow.
Could have pushed one guy. Probably should have.
There you go. I get a point.
Yeah, John realizing that now he could have pushed one guy in.
Get 1 spice.
Probably should have, but I think he's thrown off after Derek has
I think that's a
ruthlessly
mistake.
enforced the rules.
I think this is a mistake by JC. Like, he has Lady Jessica in hand. He revealed Lady Jessica instead of taking a play to selective breeding. He could have basically drawn 4 cards at selective breeding and gotten a point on the Bene Gesserit track. So he just,
Yeah.
I think he just gave up the victory because he could have gotten to 10 points, assuming he wins.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he had the spice. He
With 4 cards, he needed to draw 3 persuasion, so it wasn't guaranteed, but it was pretty likely.
I guess he wanted to make sure that he had the extra sword.
Probably not seeing any of the cards I'm about to buy.
I guess.
I mean, or he needed to, like, he wanted to make sure that he had the spice must flow. But I feel like with drawing 4 cards, you kind of probably would have the spice must flow. But
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe he didn't think he would be able to make up that 3 influence, because in his discard we're seeing
Does he have
small
no deck?
cards. Yeah, I don't think his deck's there.
So he would have had to shuffle these cards.
Yeah, so he has
Yeah,
2
it's-
spice must flow in there already: a missionary productiva, a diplomacy,
Convincing argument.
convincing argument.
But he should have 2 convincing arguments because he's not revealing. He didn't reveal a convincing argument.
Yeah, maybe he trashed one.
Wow, that would be weird.
Alright. Why not just shitty cards? Alright, here we go.
that's the card I would have liked to see.
Another Worm Riders. Little late now.
A little late now. Baron picks up a consolatory Chris knife.
Combat, I'm not playing anything.
First, I will pass.
Chome directorship up there now, though.
Does Derek have any intrigue cards?
I would.
He
I
would need
put all
plus
4 in.
7 just to tie.
Take that back.
We didn't let him take it back, so I just
I
did
tried
it fair.
Okay.
So, you win?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
No,
I
could
also
get a
cannot
guy
believe
into
That's
that
gonna
battle.
cost me the whole game. 1 second of take backs either.
Getting a card and 2 slots.
Okay, you're
that's the
what
whole
color? You're
state
blue?
Yep. Shuffle the flag on.
Yeah, a pretty clutch win for JC there.
Did we already do the spice?
No.
Again, yeah,
Is that icing on
probably a bad call on Derek's part.
Yeah,
Take this guy off this?
yeah. Should have.
Taking the guys off, right?
Should have set
And-
the tone in the table to say, hey, yeah, no, it's fine.
Enemy of my enemy is my friend. He should have.
Yep.
Should
That
have let
is
Baron go
that
in.
is the core Dune.
Check the tape. Where did I go?
From there.
I mean, maybe to him it's more of a pure rules are rules. Like, he's not thinking
Hmm
just for himself. He's thinking like, this is the way it should. It's a rule for a reason.
And it is true, John benefited earlier on Tannen not being able to take back the card in a similar moment.
Hmm
Tannen saying, oh, I could play a pot card, and then them saying, well, although John was willing for that to have been taken back in the moment, I think it was also called at the moment.
Now it's going to take a miracle for John to be able to win. What about Tannen? Obviously, the 2 players who are at 9 are within easy striking distance. Does Tannen have a way to 10 points here.
Are we good?
I mean, Tannen can win. Tannen needs to go Bene Gesserit right away. Although he is 4th to go. And I feel like John will go Bene Gesserit first, leaving his Highliner. Because JC's only at 5 spice, so still he's got a points worth of wiggle room.
I see a diplomacy in John's hand and a space travel, so he does have the ability to go to both Bene Gesserit and Highliner. He's starting with Highliner, it looks like.
That also feels, again, like a potential mistake, but good news for Tannen.
Well, I think John probably has a masterstroke for the Bene Gesserit based on this.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we see Bene Gesserit right there.
So first off, Chinese peony.
And only needs to go to Space and Gill one more to take that away from Derek, and I'm sure John will be delightful if he can snatch that right out of Derek's grasp.
Especially after the last round.
I think John will be only focused on one thing.
Oh,
on the Emperor.
Oh wow! Imagine if he had chosen Emperor and Bene Gesserit there, he would have gotten another point.
Well, he's looking pretty if he's got plans within plans. He just needs to go Fremen.
You're right. Wow, does he actually have a chance? Are you telling me there's a chance?
We're saying there's a chance. It's felt like John has had plans within plans just from his spread. Ilbon snap grabs the Mentat.
Yeah, I mean, that's his easy route to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
I fear that maybe he missed his window of locking it down last round, but he...
We also haven't seen many intrigue cards from JC. It's possible both of the high point cards, endgame cards, are in play.
JC has to go to Bene Gesserit here, right? Like, with his next play. Either space gives him a point.
Yeah. Hits Bene Gesserit, hits a Spice Must Flow, and then hopes that he has the additional intrigue card. That's not plans within plans. What's it called?
Corner of the Market?
Corner of the Market. That's the one.
Oh, if he has Corner of the Market, he's probably has this game wrapped up.
He may not get full points from it because of Liet Kynes, but...
True. Seems... I certainly haven't been keeping track, but it seems like JC has bought as many Spice Must Flows as anyone.
Yeah, I think that play with grabbing that Bene Gesserit Alliance token sort of sinks Tannen's potential here. And now becomes a race between JC and Derek.
I have to agree with you. Unfortunately for Tannen, a lot of the value in his deck was in Worm Riders, Fatican, and at this point, that's not even enough when you have no troops to fight for this combat.
Yeah, and especially with John sitting at 7 troops, there's not a real spot where Tannen can eke out the military victory, even if he were to manage to get into like an opulence as his third point to let him hit 10.
I guess we know he's sitting on at least 7 swords.
That's true.
Earlier.
Yeah, we have that information.
As Derek's play, I'm not sure what I would do. Like, protect the Spacing Guild alliance? Maybe?
Yeah, if you can.
Looks like Poison Snooper from Derek.
Yeah, you can choose to draw our trash.
At this stage, you definitely draw it. It doesn't really matter what it is.
It does, yeah. There's no world in which there's a point to trash it.
Yeah, 4 entry cards. How many entry cards do you have?
I was.
I guess the one world where it would make sense is if he had bought like something like assassination mission, where if you trash it, you get money. But nobody has bought that this game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just noticed Chum directorship on the row.
Yeah.
Does that change anything? Because that can shift things. Wow, if John could buy that, he could steal the Spacing Guild and get the Emperors.
Yeah, get that, boom, boom, and then get 2 points for that
Plans
gets him to
within
10,
I don't think
or 2 points for the 2 points for the combat.
Yeah, we have a system.
If you forget.
Yeah, and
then if he does have plans within plans,
he outright wins, right?
there you go. That's the path to victory.
Do you believe in miracles?
Like that's the thing the judge
Yeah,
reminds me.
the option. You had the option of moving in troops last time.
That was a choice, which I passed the card and then was like, oh, I wanted to do that.
The problem is, we've already gone through 2 different players,
Yeah.
and you are all responsible for keeping track of the game state. So,
I was telling you everything else. I forgot the money.
Am I getting the money or no? That was a big turn.
yeah.
Your call. It wasn't a choice-based thing. We all just forgot it.
All right, this is not an option.
I'm not sure what the
Right,
question
it's
is.
not it's not like I chose not to get it.
Right, and it hasn't affected anyone else.
Are we good?
Yep.
I mean, it's his ruling. Are you guys
I'm
going to be
trying to
mad
think
about
back to everything else we said in the game so far.
Yeah.
Is anyone else?
Is it just because you're probably in the winning position?
Was something forgotten, like a resource
Yeah,
forgotten to
I
be
think
taken?
there's a resource forgotten, maybe.
John was supposed to get 2 water from Highliner. Did he maybe not take that? I don't think it's going to matter if he's sitting on 3 water.
That's why it would matter. I could potentially. I could spend an action to get an action.
Oh, he forgot to take Solari.
No, I'm going to
Apparently.
say it's gone too far.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
But you are welcome to appeal.
What?
You're welcome to appeal it.
What does that mean?
You can appeal the decision and.
Bring in more judges? No, we're not going to do that.
I
We're not
know.
going to do that. That's fine.
I just wanted to let you know the rules.
Okay, that's fine.
Since I think I've played in a whole bunch of these.
It merely gives me the option to potentially buy that guy, and I'm probably wouldn't anyway.
I think I'll have to defend.
Yeah, John's saying he should have gotten some Solari at a certain point
Draw a card.
a couple turns ago.
Okay.
The ruling on the field being that too much play had passed, and John saying, well, it just would have given me the option to buy the Swordmaster,
Play the
opting not to bring in more judges. I think John is slightly upset still.
I think maybe it was a discussion about how he could have pushed troops to take 3rd place in that last conflict, and that would have given him the Solari, because I don't think he's taken any moves this round.
Yeah.
block. There.
So you can do a force.
Oh, blocking JC
I
from
got more than 4, I'll tell you.
from getting an easy. I mean, JC still goes to selective breeding if he has it.
They're clearly very useful.
Anything else, Danny?
And blocking the additional grab of intrigue
Good.
from somebody else.
And just for this round back to you, right?
Just
Huh?
one cycle.
What'd you say?
It's just one cycle, right?
Yeah, 1 cycle. 1 cycle.
So John is kind of blocked now from stealing the alliance from Derek, who protected.
Yeah. Which feels like the right call.
Yeah, what else was Derek supposed to do, really? Fremen is the only point that Derek could have maybe gone for, but I don't think he had enough Fremen icons in his deck to do it. He would have needed an intrigue card.
And he's not going to use Liek Kynes to go there. That's his whole strategy.
I think we're going to get a lot more into the combat after picking up Warm Riders.
Well, here's the thing. I hadn't had a single blue circle, so that was the problem.
It's
I
gotta
couldn't
happen,
get in.
right? You gotta get
The last round was like the worst because I had no blue circles, no way to get troops in. So we just
Yeah, Tannen talking about how hasn't been able to capitalize on those Worm Riders because of his deck composition, not being able to push enough troops in.
I hesitate to comment on this, but John can, even if he doesn't win this game, can have consolation that his Dodgers made it to the World Series. We're recording this in the middle of the World Series, so I don't want to like jinx anything, but at least they made it to the World Series, and then maybe they have a good chance of winning it.
And it all started with John D. Clare making it to the final of the World Series of Board Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, without that spirit, maybe the LA Dodgers wouldn't have.
They wouldn't
been
have
motivated.
In fact, I know for a fact they wouldn't have. They told me.
Really?
Yeah, they called me before we started. They said we wanted. I'm glad you brought that up. It's just real kismet that you did. They said that they wanted us to thank John D. Clare personally.
Nice.
What are the tiebreakers?
He's looking at his intrigue cards.
And then
So money, water, and then I think intrigue card, and then troops.
Yeah, he's thinking about tiebreakers. John feels like there's a path. He's got 2. If he can get Chome, well, Chome is just worth 1 to him. Yeah, he'll just go and he'll scoop up the Emperor, maybe? Or no, he's going to...
What?
Oh, Plans Within Plans.
This is certainly a Plans Within Plans.
This is Plans Within Plans.
Sign, but I'm not sure that it's better than just going to the Emperor, because either way it's a point.
Yeah.
I guess it just ensures that nobody can catch him if he puts all 4 of these troops in. But
Yeah. Or hoping that
I would
JC and Derek will
tiebreaker.
It's the fifth.
some reason come up short.
please, John, take your influence with the Fremen if you're going to play there for Plans Within Plans. Don't forget to take it.
Do I want to add? I am gonna add 3 gods.
I would rank it like third, fourth.
Does he have staged incident and he's just like putting
Must
in a
be.
bunch of troops to sacrifice?
Yeah.
All right, they should really just remind him to take the bump. Like it should be automatic.
Yeah. It's an automatic thing. I'm sure that's not something that.
Yeah, because if the people who are sitting across the table, other people are pushing the cube.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
That matters. I mean, man. we're like it's probably not gonna matter, you know. We're not gonna make a fuss.
Wait,
about
he hasn't
it.
passed the card, and JC is starting to play. So I think they almost have to give him the bump at this point if they're doing it like this.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Wait, he didn't take the bump, and he was checking.
Yeah, that was like I was still thinking about the
I'm sure that they will retcon
Fix it?
that. Yeah.
That's the whole game right there.
Total of 4 cards. I'll gain 1 bomb and 1 point. So the end game is triggered.
Endgame is triggered.
Probably. I guess definitely, since he has no stealable points.
Yeah.
Impure thoughts.
All right, now John
Yeah,
took the bump.
happened, yeah.
Got my 2.
Yep. Okay. I think that is locked in for me. That was all my blue actions. Yep. Okay. We're all done blue. Goes to Nick. Alright.
Derek can make 2 extra troops with his ring now that he has the alliance.
If it's also any consolation for John, he only would have been at 8 force in the other competition, and JC managed to get up to 9. I don't know if John had any daggers to reveal in his hand, but
Yeah, he has a lot of combat, a lot of intrigue cards, so he could easily have had one of those.
yeah.
We'll find out, I suppose. Hopefully they'll show all the intrigues that they have.
Derek pushing in, worthwhile.
Oh, you went there.
He can get 1 more troop in with a play to Carthag or Arakeen.
Oh yeah, I don't think Derek has a chance of winning this combat. but I think it's good just to get the spice in case of tiebreaker, like they were talking about before.
In a different way.
Yeah, you never know. If he has Allied Armada for +7.
Obvious.
Okay. Let's do the old everybody discard 2 cards thing.
Oh, Ohio.
Go here. And get
I think JC has probably drawn enough cards here that he's going to discard. It's not going to hurt him much.
Yeah, same with Derek, having just gone to research station.
Okay. And now what are we doing here?
The only person who I think it might hurt will be John, who might have hopes for a Chum dictatorship.
Yeah.
Play this guy.
Sorry, I got discard.
Oh yeah,
I think we should finish our discard.
Okay, do your thing.
My hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here. And then, let's see. I'll draw a card from the deck.
Those are my 2 discards.
Please be
I'll reveal them
the
when
most amazing card I've ever seen.
Does it go in order or does it?
Oh, you're in order? Okay.
Quickly. Alright, we're gonna go through and start playing events. First off, we're gonna play. Wait, sorry.
JC discards Diplomacy and Spice Must Flow. Not a huge hit in terms of influence.
Okay, yeah. We'll resolve reactions first. First off, execute.
So Derek is in position where if he could just catch and tie JC, he will end with more spice and beat JC on a spice tiebreaker because Derek's going to collect like a bunch of spice from second place here.
Yeah. But I don't see that happening. I feel JC has ample room to purchase another Spice Must Flow here. I think Derek has no chance and would have wished that John had spent some troops earlier, because then he'd be down troops. He would be down at least 4 troops, and Derek might have a chance to actually take this as a battle.
Just now, going up there.
Hey, how many cards have I drawn?
After my discard, 7.
He's buying a worm. My game's over. God.
Brings. Lose 3 cards from my compost. 1, 2, 3. Cubes. Okay.
I'm not quite sure what decision Derek's making here. Either you have the Spice Must Flow, or you don't, and you keep your swords.
Agreed.
It doesn't feel like there's any...
Flash Flood.
Or you have Chum Directorship, which I've been calling dictatorship this whole time.
Show him directorship doesn't do anything for him.
Yeah.
Unless he has plans within plans, then it would be worth a point, I guess.
Yeah, but we know the Baron has been sitting on that.
You're confident with that call.
I'm confident. I felt it at the very beginning, just in terms of the distribution. And I think John asking about tiebreaker means that he's got a way to get in.
Sure. I would certainly back you up on that, but I think only because of the play to Hardy Warriors. Before the play to Hardy Warriors, I thought it was low chance, but yeah, turning down the Emperor Alliance just for insurance in this combat means plans within plans is imminent. I wonder if Derek is thinking like, well, if I discard 2 and then do an early reveal, can I buy something?
But yeah, that should be the choice. I mean, if you're Derek, you need to get a Spice Must Flow. Like there are no other points to be had for Derek on the board.
I wonder if he's trying to figure out, like, if I play to Arakeen and draw 1 more card, what is left in my deck?
Right.
Is there a chance?
But also, he might be sitting on some juicy combat cards,
That's the last one.
and so might feel like it's closer than it looks.
But I do not.
He gets
Two
rid of
Spice
2
Must
Spice Must
Flow.
Flow. That seems like the most obvious thing.
Yeah, especially since they're only kind of good for spice tiebreakers, and he's already going to ensure that
He's guaranteed to get it.
Unless you can also, well, you have to buy, unless you can buy 2 worms,
And where's my little card?
or you can somehow take this battle from me.
There you go.
What do you do?
I played Poison Sniper.
That's why there's blood on my fingernail.
What does it do?
So you play Revan, then you play Poison Sniper and rest?
I thought so.
What does
hard.
Poison Sniper do?
I get to draw a card off the top and either trash or keep.
2 points. I got $2 to buy with. Doesn't matter. I'm done.
Oh, play mission area. Actually works. Cable tube. Oh, throw it in.
Wow, does that make a difference?
Well, look at the entry card before.
It's possible.
He does have another Benny Gesserit card in play. I guess he could push himself up to on the spacing, and
I'll take the bump. Yeah.
it's either spacing or Emperor, but spacing feels more safer. And then he gives himself the flexibility if he is able to get a bump with Chome Directorship instead of Spice Must Flow.
True. Derek making a play just to get an intrigue card, it looks like, with Imperial Spy.
Can I peek at my trash ones in there?
Push your cube. If he draws an influence with the Emperor, he can just get an extra point with it right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Card.
Guess not.
Alrighty.
I think he would have played it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even think about it.
Tannen does not look confident. I think he's just
Yeah. I think he knows.
Yeah, just like a truck.
He's-
playing it out.
He's doing his best.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Back at specifics.
Alright, we'll play the Signet. Might as well reserve that.
The highest we have the
Smart
Oh, he
reserve from Tannen.
reserves it. Wow.
Yeah.
3.
Oh, wait,
Doing his best to keep the game balanced out. You see some people shaking their heads around the table.
And I'm getting this. More intrigues, because I don't have enough.
Yep.
Taking for an intrigue, hoping for something like Spacing Guild influence.
And
No.
he gets a troop to put it in. We know he's at least got 7.
This one here.
Benny Gesserit. Oh my God, that hurts John. He's
Oh.
stealing John's alliance at Benny Gesserit.
Steals the alliance token out from
Wow.
John.
Sad days for John.
Guess I'll be
Sometimes the cards don't are not on your side.
Well, that's actually pretty clutch for Tannen. If Tannen managed to draw, has been sitting on a bunch of combat, and John isn't, there's a world in which Tannen can get 20. He's been sitting on like 5 intrigue cards, or maybe 4 now.
With one troop. If he wins this will be the best combat victory I've ever seen in Dune.
Yeah.
I'll draw a card.
And we see why Derek was agonizing over getting rid of those Spice Must Flow cards,
Tiebreakers.
feeling that JC might go for that as the tiebreaker play.
He still will with second place. Well, I guess he wants Tannen to beat JC because second place I think here gives 5 and third gives 3.
Right.
So he'll still be okay if he. Well, JC might reveal another Spice Must Flow, so you never know.
Oh yeah, I think JC has another Spice Must Flow guaranteed in his hand. He had 7 cards. He had a whole bunch.
Wow. It would be crazy if it came down to second tiebreaker.
Passing his turn with
I don't think so. I think JC has Derek beat by a point.
Probably so. Yeah, Derek still has a chance to play intrigues. but he's not. He doesn't. His body language doesn't show that he's looking forward to this.
Let's get ourselves another point.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tannen gets himself a point
4 of them spicy.
Wow, he's
for a nice.
pulling out some stops.
Alright, so starting off with the
Tannen's now in this.
another 4.
Come on, Tannen. Let me see those
Swords.
swords. We got the worms. We got Stilgar.
Boom.
Red.
That's 9 swords right there.
Plus 10, you said?
Oh, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many is it? 6 plus
It looks like
9,
9.
Okay.
So 11.
32, 32, 33.
He's at 11. He's at least got 7. We know that from previous reveals. It's 18 to
Oh,
22 right
fine.
now.
Practicing.
Tannen could take this right here and get the 2 points. I think JC would still then beat him in a tiebreaker, but come on, Tannen. This is what I want to see.
Get a water. That's a tiebreaker, right? There is a water tiebreaker. I'll get a water.
Water is the third tiebreaker.
Third tiebreaker. Oh, he goes up on the space and gets a point
it's-
there. That's a lock for
That's
JC.
huge.
9, 11,
Cruising away with
13. How about a spice?
11-13. He grabs a Spice Must Flow, putting up to 12. You can see the look on Derek's face, regretting, wishing he had given John D. Clare a chance to take those 2 points away from JC.
Yeah. Count Ilbon strikes. And he didn't get any faction alliances, but he got all 4 of the
Yeah.
easier points.
And Derek scoops up a Spice Must Flow, but it's not going to be enough.
Unless he has corner of the market with that.
Could have corner of the market.
But he didn't reveal a Spice Must Flow, so he ends with 4 spice plus 5 is 9 spice.
He would, yeah, but currently Tannen is in second, so he would be 4
Oh.
spice plus 3 if he comes in third,
Wow.
which would be just 1 short of JC's amount.
I'm not going to bother.
I know the semifinal last year in 2023 was Dune Imperium, and it came down to the second tiebreaker.
Wow.
There were 3 people who triggered it at the same time as well. It was a 3-way tie.
All right, that was a little bit of a questionable play, but I guess because he's spending 2 spice to get swords, but all he can win here is 2 spice effectively, and
Right.
he should have known Tannen had a bunch of swords.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my! He's tying John.
Tannen gets up to 22. Oh, but John has 1 combat card to put him up.
Okay, so then I get to
17.
and I have 8 points in my hand. I do have 2 points in my hand though.
Hey.
Plans within plans. There it is.
There it is. Yep.
If you guys let me do that, takes
Wow.
you back to your back too. I'm up to
So the reason
Yeah.
I got so silent after that is because he told you during the turn to move your troops in.
And I put him on the edge, and I was like, I'm gonna decide, and then I drew the card, and I'm thinking about it, and they're like, pass the
Well,
card.
to
I'm
be
like,
fair
"Alright,"
though,
and I'm thinking,
if John D. Clare had
That's
how
pushed
it
those
goes.
4
That's how it
troops
goes.
in, he would have 4 troops less for this, which would make Tannen actually have taken this.
I thought I was giving the game away. But I
True,
tried to say-
assuming he doesn't have any other combat cards.
Alright, I'm up 2, you're
Right.
down 2, that's the game.
7.
Wow. So yeah, that
'cause-
was
so
critical.
that's actually the game for Tannen.
Nice
Uh,
one. That was fun. Had fun to the end.
Wow.
No,
Tannen
no
could've
additional
won.
cards to be revealed. No plans within plans. Oh, there was plans within plans. No corner of the market.
You did.
Yes.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You did. Sorry.
And
So,
it is
we should
JC.
So I get 3 more.
They're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Red got seven.
They're
Red gets
putting it out just to
5.
see who came in third, who came in fourth.
Wow. Second tiebreaker. Nice.
He came down the second.
So John D. Clare ends up coming in third.
Oh.
Tannen could have with that take back might have benefited, but it is JC Tao who takes home his second ring. JC won the ring for Heat and the ring for Dune Imperium, and also appeared in the final table of Lost Ruins of Arnak and the
Wow.
final table for Castles of Burgundy.
Wow.
It is his first time at the World Series of Board Gaming, and he made all 4 final tables in an exceptional run.
JC, I bow down before you. You are a master card gamer.
Yeah, and ends up taking the Dune Imperium ring. That was a wild game. That was back and forth. Yeah, and I really think that that play hurt Tannen the most, because Tannen probably would have come out on top in that final
Yeah.
battle there.
Hard
Would
to
have
see
gotten
at the
those 2
time, but you might
points.
be right. Yeah.
Yeah, would have gotten those 2 points and
Yeah, it's
whatever.
unfortunate, but sometimes the rules have to be followed, and you can't really blame anybody for
Yep.
using the tools available to them. So, like,
all is fair in love and Dune. The spice must flow, as they say.
yeah, but that was a great game. Well played by all four players,
Yeah.
especially thinking about all those ramifications. Like, anybody could have won this game.
Yeah, really. It really could have gone either way. And it was very exciting to see all the players having to calculate and prepare for those tiebreakers near that very end. Shows what tight competition this really was. And again, all of these players are top-notch Dune Imperium players. They made it through a hard competition. They made it through 3 rounds. They won 3 games to get there. So if you've won 3 games of Dune Imperium in a row, well, hey, maybe you should come to the World Series of Board Gaming in 2025. You can get your tickets at WSBGVegas.com using that code EARLYBIRD to save some money off until the end of December. Don't wait on that. Paul, thank you so much for jumping on board and doing this commentary with me. It is always a pleasure. I love hanging out with you. And
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks again for inviting me. And for those who want to go next year, Dune Imperium Uprising will be in the event. So practice up on that, and we'll see you there.
We'll see you there. Paul, anything else to shout out that you're working on before you can spill some secrets of the secret test things that are right at the end for those people who stuck around?
I'd love to, but
I won't put the pressure on you. Maybe if they come to WSBG 2025, they would have a chance at playing whatever you got in the works.
Sure. I mean, I guess I'll shout out that Dune Imperium expansion called Bloodlines will be out early next year, I believe, and we'll probably be starting to talk about it and release some articles about it relatively soon. So be on the lookout for that. And I think you called out before that we have a digital game, a digital version of Dune Imperium, and we've got the Rise of Ix expansion on that. And
oh, nice.
Ranked play. So it's chugging along. It's doing well.
Cool. So if you want to study up and practice up before WSBG 2025, you know what to do. Grab Dune Imperium Digital. Thanks again, Paul. This has been absolutely lovely.
Thank you, Chris.
And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you later. From all of us here at WSBG Vegas, what are you waiting for? It's time to get in the game.